morning, lovely people. It is Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday. Wednesday, the 6th of June. It's not the 6th today, it's the 7th. It is the 6th.
No, 7th.
You did a doc. That's a word. It is Wednesday, the 7th of June. Welcome to TDA the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And as always, the lineup is lit. We'll go ahead and introduce ourselves.
It's your boy Big Moss from the east side of the bridge. Good morning, people.
It is your favorite shade queen, my own royalty.
Good morning, Big Man Use.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That is right. Guys, it's a special day. Well, first of all in black. I love the sync. It's a special day today.
What?
It's the fitness queen's birthday.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh,
Get
is
some
it?
horns, please.
Happy birthday, Gina.
That is a dog and a cat and a dog dying in the background. The hell?
There's a lot going on there.
Ridiculous. When I big up Gina, happy birthday to Gina.
Happy birthday, Gina.
Go send her some love on the gram.
Is she in England?
Yes, she's back.
Okay.
I don't know, it's Gina, man. No one travels the way Gina does. I don't know. She caused she was really the baddest on the scene in Malta and all. So I think she's back from her travels.
Was it just a weekend thing, the DLT thing?
I think so. No, I think they were there during the week.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I think. I can't remember. Yeah, I think they were there. Yeah, they were there during the week. Yeah, because it was half term. There's a whole thing with the new dates and teachers wanting to go as well. And they can consider teachers. But I'm sorry, it's more expensive when teachers go. Like, actually, having teacher friends here, it's not how great you think it is. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, you can't call in sick.
No.
And they can't. So holidays we plan as a group now. Shout out to my teacher friends. But it's ridiculous. It's like £500 more. I'm like, because you want to teach.
Oh, because they're always going in the holidays and that.
It has to be peak. It has to be peak time. It has to be summertime or half term, and obviously the prices are stupid. I don't know how you can be a teacher and want to shake some ass, son, but yeah. How's everyone doing anyway?
Margaret isn't crispy.
To be fair, it's my eyesight. That's how I see it all the time. That's what life looks like from my perspective. Ridiculous. But how's everyone doing today?
Yeah, all right, thank you. Yeah. When did you notice your eyes was, like, finished?
Not finished by the grace of God. The hell? So it's finished, you know. It'll not be finished by the grace of God.
Amen.
But I think from like school time, but I actually have a theory, right? I think that glasses make things worse. And so really and truly over time, I feel like my eyes, because I don't wear my glasses all the time, I think it's actually made it stronger.
Okay.
Are you nodding because you agree with the theory, man?
You know I nod all the time, innit? It's like either agreeing or acknowledging.
Oh, he's just, he's listening. Thinking some bullshit. He's nodding. Because if you think about it, it's like when you go to the GP and they give you like a medication for this one illness.
Yeah.
But then when you read it, it's got hella side effects. But then they keep you coming back. It's a capitalism thing. It's a pharmaceutical people. So it's the same with glasses. It makes your eyes weaker. Because I know people who stop wearing glasses because whenever you go to the opticians, they never ever tell you your eyes are good. You're always gonna need something, some form of glasses. No matter how weak they are, they're gonna say you need some form of glasses.
If you've got problems. Right?
That's if you got them.
I don't know one person who's not had problems who's gone in there and they said you don't have problems.
That's who's not had problems.
Yeah.
I've walked in and walked out.
Same.
When?
When I was younger. I done
You're
that
younger,
test.
do it now.
I passed that with flying colours. That was straight. I went in, I left. I ain't got no glasses.
Well, I know now. That's fair enough.
I actually still think I don't even actually notice my eyesight deteriorating at all. I think it's still cold. So how does it feel, like, acknowledging it deteriorating? Have you noticed it getting worse?
No, I don't think it's getting worse. I think it's just how it is. But whenever I put my glasses, I'm like, damn, like
I can see.
it's crispy.
Wow.
So like I can see you clearly, but like it's not sharp. Do you know what I mean?
Just a bit blurry.
It's not blurry per se, but it's like
I get you.
do you know what I mean? That there's no like you're not. I can't see you twice, but
it's HD but not 4K.
yeah.
No.
No?
Nope.
So you see how we got 5G?
She got like 720.
I'm on like 3G. Excuse me? What was that?
720.
Oh, like 2020, don't be silly. I'm at least 14.
No, it's
14,
No, it's
like,
it's like
8K,
HD, but-
4K, then 1080.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
720.
Oh, yeah, yeah. On YouTube. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're probably on about 720, yeah?
Nope.
No, lower.
No.
Are you going to have 540? Don't be rude.
You're 480.
Excuse me.
From your description, you're definitely not 720 because on some phones, 720 looks exactly like 1080p,
Yeah.
and that's crispy.
Yeah. I will have to. 1080p was when I was born. I ain't never seen that good. But it is, when I put my glasses, I'm like things are so much clearer. But mine is to do, like, I feel like here is cool, but it feels a bit weird, but I can't see like long distance.
Okay, so the short thing is perfect.
It's not perfect.
Oh, okay. So it's just you got a nice in between.
Yeah, no, I'm coasting. I've got enough to stay safe in this world.
That's
So
mad.
I can see
Have you
rain.
noticed anything that you could do that you can't do anymore? You see, like, say that, I don't know, whether it be fitness or stuff like that. Like, stuff like that old age stuff is kind of like natural and normal, if that makes sense. So if I can't play football as hard as I could when I was a teenager, that's not even surprising to me. But I'm saying, is there like you could used to bend your arm up here, but now you can only get it here, like, or is there something that you can't do anymore? Or even say like the vision thing. If I actually actively notice my vision deteriorating, that would be one of the scariest things for me.
Yeah.
It is scary. That one of my worst
That'd be,
phases.
for me, that would be actually crazy because I don't even know how I'd feel to know it, see it happen in real time, and know that this is real life. This is happening, isn't it? Is there anything you can think of like that you can't do no more, or it's just different?
It's different. I used to be able to kick my leg off my head when I was younger.
Ooh, flexible.
You're not crispy.
What, as in what? Standing straight and then just. Serious?
I can't picture you doing
I was young though. I was young.
That is so funny. So woo.
Yeah, I mean, but the hamstrings are kind of tight now, so you know what I mean. Impossible.
What about
That's
you?
a good one.
I think just
actually.
like normal, like walking, you know. No, you know, it's like my knee just does some crazy stuff, man. My right knee, man. It's just like, yeah,
Yeah, I feel you.
it's annoying.
Yeah, mine was gonna be my knees as well, but then I think it's interesting because when I'm in the dance, my knees are good, but when in normal life,
Because you feel younger in the dance. So
mean?
when you dance, your limbs have got loose joints.
yeah, because there's a whole joke on Twitter about like how girls talk about their knees, they can't do this. When you're squatting, you're struggling. But when you see us in brunches, we're all the way down to the floor for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but then they go home, they got them on ice packs.
I'm so done. Actually, yeah, I can't think of anything like that I could do. But I do notice like my body aging is weird. Like
Isn't it?
pains and stuff like that is crazy.
What about you, Brent?
I fixed my eyesight. I got laser.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Do you know what, Brent, though?
Okay.
Because I remember you told me about it and I'm thinking about
I
it.
just came back. to it.
But then I've seen a lot of like negative stuff. People have gone blind.
Were you looking for them?
No, that was what was mad. No, because we've had a conversation about this, I think, maybe 3 times. And I think the 3rd time, I just went on Twitter, mind my business, as I do. And I just seen random tweets. And people have actually gone blind from it.
Wow.
Brent,
Or some of them, the vision is worse.
can you put in like a percentage of like how much the improvement is?
Yeah.
What is it?
120%.
Oh, so you was down bad before?
I couldn't walk about without glasses. Like how she's walking around without glasses.
Oh, so my vision is better than what yours was.
Oh, you was finished?
Yes.
Right.
I used to play football with glasses and I had to use a sports band.
Oh my gosh, you
Yeah,
didn't have them
David
string
thing.
ones.
That was thing, innit?
And when it is,
That's an extreme.
No, you know the strings, the little glasses strings. They're so cute.
no, I didn't have the strings.
It's a band.
Yeah, it's the
band
band.
Like
That's
a,
what I
um,
did.
Keep it.
yeah.
Yeah. One of the glasses I broke playing football is ridiculous. The football team I used to play for, Acton District, when it is that we travelled, the foreign referee tried to say I can't play because it's dangerous to the other players.
Okay.
I ended up playing though.
Let's go.
Scored 2 goals that day.
Come on, man.
Period.
Yeah, man.
Love that.
No horns.
Oh no, it's regular for me.
That's what I do.
No. But yeah, man, my eyesight.
You or you?
Like I said, I know like I couldn't go full pelt in a football game like I could, or the recovery is going to be.
Oh yeah, no, recovery is different now.
Yeah, the recovery is going to be a myth and that. I know that kind of stuff. But I haven't. Nah, like my wear and tear is all weird. Like my hands messed up and that, but because I got stabbed there and that. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, there's things that I like. But no, I'm cool. I might could crick a bit more. Like crick, what's like when you click your bones? And things, a bit more creaky. Need some cod liver oil. I was like, I don't know.
I've been like that for time. My toes click like crazy.
Yeah, but it's getting worse. I need to check. I might have sleep apnea. I'm snoring more in my old age. I feel like every day it's getting worse.
Yeah, you snore deeper.
Yeah, it's getting worse. It wasn't like this. It was. I didn't even exist. I didn't snore. I wasn't a snorer.
Same here, you know. I only started snoring in the last maybe like 3 years.
Yeah, I wasn't a snorer. It was like I used to sleep like a baby. No worries.
Check that out.
Huh?
Are you getting the same
You wanna
amount of
figure
sleep
it out?
though as before?
That's true, actually.
I don't know. My
Maybe
sleep
you're
is
exhausted.
probably since I started doing this. I'm probably getting a bit more sleep than I used to. But yeah, it's just getting worse.
Because I noticed like I allegedly snore like.
And it is proper alleged. Well, it used to be
Do you know what
alleged.
pisses me off? No.
They've got
You know what
files
pisses me off?
now.
Yeah.
I said allegedly there.
It used to be alleged, but they've done a recall. They've
Do you know
got
what
a
it is, yeah?
case. They've got a
People-
case.
If you're sleeping, how do you know you're snoring?
People that snore, yeah, are always like, it's alleged. I don't snore. So why are you fighting it? You do. You're disturbing the household. You do. Snorers always fight it. And then when they find you, they're like, yeah, because I'm exhausted. Okay, when you snore.
And you know what it is? When you snore, there's too much pressure to be a good person.
Excuse me,
Like,
sorry.
What?
What's the correlation?
because people resent like snore. Like you see, like if you're with your man and he's happy and things are going good and he's providing, and
and
when
man
he's
getting sleep.
yeah, like when you sex him up and put him to sleep and he's snoring, you're like, oh, I did that. Look at him. But when he's like. When you got to be checking his phone, or you think he might be cheating, or a couple cases pending, or he's not bringing the food home and he's there snoring, that's just, you're looking at him like you want to stab him in his chest. Like, shut up, you lawnmower. Shut up.
Have you seen that video where the woman slaps the man when he's sleeping and she goes back to sleep quickly?
It's harder to love a snorer when the love's not good.
Yeah, it is. It pisses me off.
This is what I'm saying.
Like, why are you making the sounds?
Why are you making this sound for? I don't like
Stupid.
you.
Exactly. Like, how are you sleeping like that? I mean, you're ruining my life, but you're enjoying your sleep. You psycho. Nah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, so it's too much pressure, man. If you snore, it's too much pressure to be a good person.
You have to be a good person. That's the only way we can let it fly. That's ridiculous. All right, I've got a question for you guys, though. So, what is the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
Spontaneous. Maybe you booked a last minute holiday the day before I left.
Ooh, that is spontaneous.
Yeah.
That is very spontaneous, yeah.
Yeah, I've gone on spontaneous holidays. I've been going down the road and my brother phoned me like, yeah, what are you doing today? No, I'm here. Link me. What do you mean here? Link you? Like,
What, link him with the suitcase?
it was like a different country. Like, oh yeah, like I'm here.
Link me, you know.
Like I'm
Wait,
here.
in Bali.
Yeah, like I'm here. Link me. What do you mean that? He's like, right, I thought you said you ain't got nothing to do. He's like, I ain't. Come then. Fair play.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right.
See you soon.
See you
See you
soon.
in 8 hours.
Yeah, done. Did that.
I can't think of anything.
I think in a holiday, similar thing to what Yusuf said.
Mine will be like when I'm out and like I just, you know, like when there's an aftermotive, but my normal self would take safety precautions. Like I'll just jump in a stranger's car. I don't know this first. I could have been kidnapped. I could have been dead, gone. Yeah, that was definitely, I think that's the most spontaneous thing I've done.
When you said jump in a stranger's car like an Uber,
No, like someone that was in the same venue as me, I didn't have a clue who they were. But we're going somewhere. So I said, all right. And I just trusted them and got in the car.
oh, okay.
It's very foolish, really, but spontaneous.
I feel like there must be something else. What you bet?
I've done stuff like that though. I think. Where did the stranger take you?
Yeah, but you
After
could
party.
do stuff like
Another
that.
After party.
Yeah, I've done that. I've gone to party after parties with strangers before. That are
It's a bit
Yeah,
different.
but different for you though.
back on man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah, but still the same thing though. We've done it. We're
Yeah, but-
equal rights. Don't
Don't
diminish.
equal rights me.
Don't diminish my experience. She's telling you she's done something. I'm telling you I've done it too. You're talking about.
Yeah, because no, but
It's different
but
though.
she's talking about the danger of it though.
Because I'm
So there's
the
not
one.
that, and this is, you know what it is? That's a different conversation. That's
It is. It's the topic of the day, actually. So you can wait to that. You keep it, hold it in. Hold it in. Ben, what's yours?
I think I vividly remember I was in uni and I just finished for the summer, and somebody invited me to a Moroccan restaurant on a blind date to meet their friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh, I ain't got nothing else doing. F it. I never done it in my life before.
Yeah,
And
blind data.
ended up being my girlfriend.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Yeah.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah.
Do you have to sit on the floor when you go to a Moroccan restaurant? Or do they have seats? Do they have chairs?
I think, what?
Because you know, like, no, let me get there. Do you know what I mean? Because they got the pillows on the floor, and they get you like you're in Morocco. They set it up as if you're like back home with them.
Oh, okay.
There's some Thai restaurants like that as well.
Yeah, where you sit on the floor. So in my mind, because I've seen Moroccan restaurants I've seen on TV, they tend to have the pillows on the floor. So I thought that maybe that was just like a thing they do.
I've never been to one, you know.
Never have I actually. I'd like to go on a blind date, but if I don't like what I say, I'm walking back out.
Do they have utensils in a Nigerian restaurant?
What kind of question is that?
This is what I'm trying to like mirror.
How many? No. That's a very strong mirror. You saw your vision out. How many Nigerian restaurants have you seen on TV where they had no utensils? Not Nigerian homes eating, Nigerian restaurants where they had no utensils. All right. I've seen a lot of Moroccan restaurants that had pillows for seats.
Souk Medina.
Soup for dinner.
No, Souk Medina.
Oh, I thought you said soup for dinner.
No.
My bad. Okay, well, that's enough of that. Let's get into our headlines.
Okay, so our first headline is about Margaret Ferrier. You lot know Margaret Ferrier?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so MPs have basically voted to suspend her from the Commons for 30 days. Why? Because she was breaching COVID lockdown rules.
Oh, I didn't let it go. Let it go.
No.
Why,
No.
Do you know how long these things are? Every month, some stupidness is coming out.
Well, the move will almost certainly lead to a by-election in her Rufford Glen and Hamilton West constituency. Ferrier won the seat for the SNP with a majority of 5,230 in the 2019 election, but has been sitting as an independent since losing the party whip. It will be an early electoral test for the new SNP leader, Hamza Yousaf, with Labour hopeful of winning the seat. Opinion polls have suggested that support for the SNP has fallen in recent months against the backdrop of Nicola Sturgeon resigning as First Minister and party leader and the ongoing police investigation into the party's finances. MPs voted by 185 to 40 in favour of suspending Ferrier from Parliament for 30 days, with the suspension due to start on Wednesday today. She has already been ordered to complete a 270-hour community payback order by a court after admitting culpability and recklessly exposing the public to the risk of infection, illness, and death. Next headline takes us to you guys. Well, actually, I don't think Esther is a part of Labour. You're more like Tory in that.
You know, I can't bother today, you know.
The good side.
The good side. You did a double thumbs up, y'all. Double thumbs up.
Well, the Labour Party's leader, Sir Keir Starmer, has vowed to protect communities from decimation after being warned that Labour's policies would lead to job losses in oil and gas. Labour has pledged to ban new licences for oil and gas production in the UK. Gary Smith, who's the General Secretary of the GMB, we spoke about this last week, said that Labour's policy risks creating a cliff edge for jobs. But speaking at the union's conference, Sir Keir Starmer promised to prevent a rerun of what happened when coal mines closed in oil and gas communities. He said at the speech, "What I will never let happen is a repeat of what happened in the coal mining industry, where the industry came to an end and nobody had planned for the future. We're still living with the consequences. We cannot allow that to happen." And the last headline takes us actually to the Tory party, where our sister, Kemi Badenoch, is in the news.
Your sister, you have to clarify these things.
The business secretary has defended a government Climbdown on its plan to get rid of EU-era laws copied over after Brexit. Ministers announced last month that they had ditched the December deadline for the laws to expire automatically unless kept or replaced. But at the Commons Committee, Kemi Badenoch was criticised for making a U-turn over the retained EU law bill. But she says the deadline had created uncertainty and jeopardised reform. She denied the government had ever promised a bonfire of regulations before the end of the year, adding that she was not an arsonist. She was speaking shortly before the government suffered 2 defeats on the bill in the House of Lords, which is scrutinising the draft law. But the UK incorporated thousands of EU laws into UK law to minimise disruption to businesses when the UK officially left the EU in 2020. An ongoing audit by officials has identified nearly 5,000 so far, around half of which are either environmental or transport regulations. And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into what you say in topic of the day.
All right, so today's topic of the day, I was going to try and give you guys a bit of a lighthearted one. And I feel like this is maybe somewhat lighthearted. At least we'll try to keep it that way. But Ben, if you don't mind, can you play the link in the doc, please? And I want you guys to tell me what you think of what this guy's saying. Do you feel like there's truth to it, right? And be very honest and critical about it.
A lot of men don't even like women, and it shows. It shows in their opinions, it shows in how they operate, it shows in how they talk with their friends. It shows that a lot of times men just go for women because that is the right thing to do. That is what we are taught up on. But a lot of men don't even really like women because you don't respect them, you don't see their worth, you don't understand them, you don't try to understand them. The only time a black man is able to actually respect a black woman is if it comes from trauma, is if she's putting money on his books, is if she's holding it down. That's the only time he's able to understand her. Or if she's crying. But a lot of times when it comes down to black men, they do not really respect black women. They do not really appreciate black women. So you can't really, and I don't even talk about you. Yeah. I'm directing it to him, so you can't really say pick me. Because what it is as a gay black man, and I'm not even sexually attracted to them, I respect them and I honor them and I understand that they make it happen.
But you can't
a lot of y'all thoughts and opinions, y'all do not.
You cannot say that because you don't know the emotional shit that we go through because we actually been in love with women.
Yeah? What you say? All right.
What kind of show is that?
I'm going to show you now. But that link was sent to me by a member of a community. Big up Rebecca M. And basically, I want us to start off here.
Rebecca, I thought you liked peace.
And I want to start off here, yeah. Do you feel like you can really like someone if you have a lack of respect for them?
That's an interesting question.
I think,
Kind of.
no, for whatever reasons they make you lack respect would probably form some kind of dislike, maybe.
As in respect them as in rate them, or respect them as in treat them with respect? 'Cause I think treating them with respect and respecting somebody is different.
Okay. Elaborate, please.
So I can not respect somebody, but I treat people with respect. So everyone gets treated with respect, right? But I cannot respect somebody, but still like them. I know the reasons why I don't respect you, but you're a cool person. But when it comes to this area, I have no respect for you in regards to this. Do you know what I mean?
But okay, cool. What about you guys? I'll come back to that.
Question again, quickly.
Do you feel like you can like someone, right, but have no respect for them?
Like with no respect.
I know it's kind of like a general one, and it makes you, I guess, or at least for me anyway, like if I ask myself that question, I feel like I'm kind of answering it on an individual basis, right?
Yeah.
But based on what this guy's saying, where he's saying men, obviously he's talking about black men, but let's just say men in general,
You
right?
don't even like gal. Why are we listening to what he's saying for?
The
but
black
still-
man, he's
but
one of
still,
y'all.
You don't know what he's talking about though.
He's
Yeah,
one
but
of y'all.
but he can still at least offer a particular perspective, right? And he's basically saying, based on what I observe from
good
men
self-control, by the
who
way.
do say that they like, that they do like women, I'm noticing you have no respect for women. How can you possibly say you like women? Like, is he crazy for thinking that, or does that make sense?
It makes sense.
I think you can respect and not like.
Okay.
I mean, like some people, you can respect your elders. You may not like that particular elder, but because they're an elder, you respect them, innit?
What if you don't respect them? Can you like them?
It's easy.
Yeah.
I don't think you can, like, saying you have a lack of respect for someone,
Yeah.
means, like, it's less. Like, if you don't have to have an immense amount of respect for someone or rate someone. You get what I'm trying to say? You could just have them normally, but saying you lack respect for them means it's less. Whatever they've done, whatever's happens, you would have less respect for them than the average person. If it's someone like that, how could you like them if if their actions or whatever they are has made you like have less respect for them? Like, you're not going to really. But you know, how could you like them at the same time?
It depends how bad what have they done to warrant the lack of respect.
Okay.
I mean,
because you know what is, I think of it like kind of like a character flaw as well. So I can know something about someone, how a person is in regards to some like a character or whatever, and I don't respect you for that. Like I have no respect for that, but then I can like you though. It's like when you know some of your friends are like unreliable and whatever.
Listen,
I don't respect the fact that you're not like.
Let's take this in and just think about this now. If I do something to you that makes you like literally actively like not a joke, it makes you have less respect for me than you had before. That has to be something egregious. You like me less. That's it.
Yeah, I'll like you less, but I still like you. I don't hate you though.
I'm not saying hate, but you'll like me less though. So it's got to, So where we quantifying the like? How much can you really like someone that you've got a lack of respect for?
I like you a little bit, just not as much as I did before. But I get what you mean though.
I get what you mean.
Because I think also depends on some certain people as well. There's certain people, if I lose respect for you, I can't like you because of what you meant to me. If I lost respect for you, it'd be difficult for me to like you. But if it's someone I don't really care for like that, I just don't respect. I don't respect what you stand for. I don't respect your opinions. But you're a cool person.
But you're cool. No,
you're cool, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
That don't ever go hand in hand. I don't respect what you say. I don't like nothing about
like
you. But you know what? You're cool. I'll keep you around me. It don't even work like that.
No, but I have people like that though, where I don't respect them, but I don't hate them. Like they're cool. Yeah. and I know what they're cool for. Do you know what I mean? So my interaction with them is based on its surface because I know what you're good for. But in terms of things I don't respect you for, I would never come to you about any of those things.
Yeah.
Is that because like they never held a significant role in your life then? That's probably why.
That's why I think it is. Because if someone who's close to me, if I lose respect for you, it goes hand and I can't like you.
Yeah, I think, just now that I've had time to think about it, I reckon I can't like someone I don't respect, but I can respect someone that I don't like.
They don't like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we now apply it to what this guy's talking about, right?
Yeah.
In terms of, obviously social media can kind of exacerbate certain things, but just based on how people kind of complain about the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Let's just use
Gender
men.
wars,
Let's just use men, interacting with women, not the other way around. Like, with all these men out there, the extreme ones who just like degrade women, talk crazy, this, that, and the third. How is it possible that they like female or like women if it shows from their actions what they say that they have no respect for women?
I don't think they like women.
I think
what makes you think they like women?
Okay. They only deal with women though.
But
they're
heterosexual men.
They like women
like sex and stuff
for certain things, isn't it?
This is it.
Okay.
Yeah, they like sex and that. It's not. That don't mean they like women.
Okay. Okay. So basically, you try and say that they compartmentalize, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying, I view women as
sex and thing.
But you know what it is?
They have uses. If them type of man, if them guy ain't got no uses for them, then the girls say, nah, so that doesn't mean they like them. Their uses, whether they want them to cook, clean, whether they want to sleep with them, whatever purposes they serve, they take the purpose. That don't mean they like them just because they interact with them.
I think it's a more case of
people interact with people they don't like.
They like women physically. So they like the optics. They don't like them mentally. And
I think, because I agree with that. Because I think also as well, you will see in the kind of women that they're with as well.
Yeah.
Like they're always a certain kind of woman. Because I think people that have views like that, they're not with women who are free thinkers. They're with women who they can have some form of control over, women who have been through something and are still a victim of whatever it is they've been through. Like they're with a certain type of woman who they can still assert that kind of control and still have the mindset that they have and exercise that in a way on those women.
Why do you think that is the case though?
The devil playing games.
I know it may sound like a silly question, but why do you think it is the case where that men, and even women as well, can kind of view the opposite sex as just objects and be like, okay, cool, you're just for sex or you're just for this?
Because they haven't got any other choice.
But bare women think men are useless.
Yeah, but
like,
That's so funny.
No, it's true though. This ain't like, I mean, we can do it. If we flip the conversation, it works. It works both ways.
Yeah, it does
like,
work.
women,
Yeah.
no, women going like they hate men. Like, so what? Do they not like us either?
To be fair, I think the narrative is bigger that women hate men than men hate women. In my opinion.
Maybe it was before, but the incels are going hard. There's a trend going around. I don't know if it's the last 9 months, 12 months, whatever it may be, but there's something there's something in the air.
over time.
Of course there is. Just with all the characters that are coming out with the Andrew Tates and all these things, all these dumb podcasts and all these opinions. There's something in the air where it seems like it's shit. They're giving the girls a good goal for their money. Maybe they're just starting to fight back. Maybe they're just starting to fight back, man.
I think it started with the men not liking women, and then the women. Then, no, wait,
that's not fair.
How do you know it's not fair if I'm
Because you've been hating us from Quay.
Chill down.
Look what Eve done.
And Adam's weak ass. Adam's weak ass. She said, here's Abby was like, okay. Like, he ain't no leader. That's not a leader. God should put Eve in charge. I'll tell you that. But I think, that whole stuff started with men.
Okay.
In the way that the men treated the women. But that's what men were kind of socialized and taught of how they should treat women. Okay. And I think the women, from like independence and all like just knowledge coming up and women becoming more aware of society, then decided actually we don't like all of these things. And that's what sometimes is a bit of a shock when women are like, oh, this is oppressive. And men are like, what do you mean? It's been done from before time. It's like, it doesn't make it less oppressive now. Jamie, so I think it's a thing where the men have just existed how the men have, not realizing what women have felt the way I feel like a lot of women have felt resentment for years. And then they finally got the confidence to then speak up about it. And then the men were retaliating. But then there's like normal men who are like, what? But then there's like, the other men, the incels. And those are the ones that are thinking. So I think men started it, but without realizing they started something. A lot of women held that it was in the subconscious that they were being oppressed.
Look, women, have been fighting for power, independence, all this stuff, from the beginning of time. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, shouts out the suffragettes and them gal there. You get what I'm trying to say? It's serious. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, and then it just went from just wanting the equal footing and getting an equal footing and being votes and equal pay and being heard and registered, and then we got there, innit? And then obviously women doing more for themselves, people understand they could do more for themselves, earning, becoming leaders in their communities and doing stuff like that. And then it got to like, right, I can do for myself. If you can't do it, what are you doing there? That's when we're doing bills and all that. Can you pay my bills? I don't want no scrub and all these things. This is where they started moving to. It's like, okay, now they got here and it's like, right, well, what are you doing? If you're not thinking, then they started. And then after that, that was bad and not too bad. Yeah. But then they went crazy. Then it's like city girling, niggas ain't shit. You get me? If they're not tricking,
F-R-E-E.
You get me? Then they went crazy. Now they don't need niggas. Now they don't need no one. Man, them ain't worth nothing. You get what I'm trying to say? That these man ain't worth nothing if they ain't got a bag, if they ain't got some bread, no Birkins.
You say that, but
that's all fake though.
That's all fake.
Of course it's fake. But I'm trying to say this is what you put out there. So I think you started it. It's the men fighting back now because you have been penning us for ages. We ain't shit. You've been penning us for enough long. We ain't shit. We ain't nothing. We can't do nothing. We're this, we're that for ages. This is what you've been doing now.
I think women say stuff. Men just take it too seriously. Like, relax.
It's true. I don't take none of that serious at all.
I mean, like
in the slightest.
women are online saying this.
Maybe no one in this room does because we're not out here fighting.
No, but
a good fight. We're living our life, innit? Like, we're not.
But do you know what it is? I think men should have really should have had the power. I think that men should not have been online arguing with girls talking about the city girl lifestyle, whatever. They should understand that they really had the power because these girls are online saying this, that, and the other, but they're coming to you and doing all these things. Do you know what I mean? I feel like men should have, based on what is happening in private, it should have been a thing like where you're just like, oh, okay, but go off.
Yeah, because how do you live in the real world and deal with women in real life and believe the thing they say online?
That would be ridiculous.
So I don't get it.
But it's not just.
Because I'm sure you know girls,
even when we do stuff like that, we always split it back and it goes into the war again, men versus women. It's not just the guy doing it; it's the man doing it. People are online chatting rubbish.
But
the things that they're presenting is not real life.
Do you know the difference though? I think there's more men who present something online and actually living that in real life than there are women.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you saying.
So the guys who say wild stuff online, they treat women like that in real life.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for the horn. you know what I mean? So, but then the women are pretending. And I personally, because I like when like, say I was talking to a guy, but he's that with his boys saying, "Oh no, I don't let it go." But I know that all I have to say is jump, and you're telling me how high. I like the power in me not putting that. Like I'm not gonna say it out loud. I like that you're acting like this in public, but in the house we know what really happens. Yeah. And I think that's what men should have done. Like you guys know that behind closed doors, you're getting away with murder. And this girl's online like, oh no, you can't be with a guy if he doesn't earn this. And you know she pays all the bills.
I don't think men hate women or women even hate men, to be fair. I think it's all down to a lack of understanding and a frustration in what you can't get from the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Like if you can't get what you want from the opposite sex, you become frustrated and you lash out. But it's not real. It's not bedded in real hate.
Maybe not real hate, but I think men and women hate each other.
Nah.
I think they do, man. I think they love each other too.
Do you know what? I think the extremes...
all we got is us, man. Like real talk. All we got is us, and that's just what's gonna happen. You get what I'm trying to say? That it's gonna be ups and downs. It's like a relationship. Yeah. It's like anybody, like in your individual relationship in a marriage. Just because you get married doesn't mean it's gonna be smooth. You're gonna have ups. You're gonna have downs. You're gonna have days when you hate each other, days when you love each other, and that's just how the sex is. That's just how it presents. But really and truly, we all because unless you do away with it, this is your story. You can say anything you want about women or men you want, but as long as you're heterosexual and that's how you present and that's what you want, this is where you're at.
This is your story.
This is your story.
I think the people that genuinely do hate the way they are online are a minority. I think a lot of it is just a facade. It's just like you say this and that, but then because even like you say all of that online or whatever, but then in your real life, that's not what is displayed. Like I talk about how I don't want to be teaching white people about race. I don't want to be teaching black men about black women's oppression, whatever. But in my real life, I have a lot of grace and a lot of time to teach the people that I care about these things. Do you get me? So I think online is different because when you're online, you're not just talking about the people personal to you, you're generalizing. And I think the people that because there are women who, it's like, damn, sis, like, well, press, but calm down. So there are men and women who genuinely actually hate the opposite sex. But I think they're a minority. And when you see them, that venom is wild, man. It's like heal, deliverance, something. Gosh.
Do you feel like sometimes it's like I know you guys basically said in private, the hate isn't like it is outwardly, right?
Yeah.
On social media and whatnot. But do you feel like maybe in private they're hopeful? The hate is still there, but I'm hopeful that with this particular guy or this particular woman, it will work out. So I'm gonna temper everything.
But the thing about it, what's it incel?
What's it stand for again?
What's it incel?
Is it in involuntary?
Yeah.
Celibate.
Celibacy.
Yeah.
Can you ask Bard, please?
The narrative I've heard that incel is a guy who he can't get the women that he's attracted to.
Some of them are like that.
Or something like that.
Because they're very good-looking incels. So some of them they can't get the women that they would have loved.
Okay,
or
cool.
the women that the kind of women they would have wanted dissed them.
Yeah.
So now they've just channeled all their hate into it.
So them being an incel, it stems from the frustration that they can't get the women that they want.
Yeah.
So if they could get the women that they want, then they wouldn't be incel. So that means they don't hate women. They're frustrated that they can't get the women that they want.
But then there's some though who can get the women that they want because they are attractive and whatever.
Yeah.
But they just don't like the order of things. Like they want to, because a part of it is also the fact that women should be subordinate. So they don't like the idea of like the woman working and this and that, all that kind of stuff. So some of it is that, but the majority of them they can't get girls. Can't get girls.
Because I wanted us to kind of go along that route that you just said, Esther, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not necessarily that they can't get them, because like you said, there's some good-looking ones, right?
Yeah, but they're minority.
And capable.
They're minority.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
But at least there's average and good-looking. There's a big chunk of them that will be at least average, right? And I think it's mainly because the roles of a woman, or at least the traditional roles of a woman, have kind of been like skewed like nowadays, right?
It's evolved.
Okay, even better.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that same issue is happening in the woman's mind as well? Those that purportedly hate men, the way they view men, the roles of men have also evolved, and because they're maybe not benefiting from men in the way that they would hope, right? This is what's causing the frustration, as opposed to not getting them out.
No, I think with the women's one, it's a response to resentment.
Okay.
Theirs is more resentment. I don't think it's to do with the role of a man. Because essentially, if the men were going to be traditional, because women who still adhere to like traditional roles and stuff, they get with traditional men. They get with men who are like-minded and have that mind view. So they don't mind being a housewife and not working, not having a career, whatever. I think a lot of the women who hate men, it is resentment. It's about how they have been oppressed. And some of them, when you look at their personal lives, they've been like assaulted, abused, and seen in their households and stuff like that. Like the stats for the number of women who've been assaulted, it's wild. It's very, very, like, it's very high. Do you get what I mean? So I think with women, I would say with women, women's one comes more from resentment than men not being how men used to be. Because the men are fighting to be how men used to be. So that wouldn't really work. I mean, except the bums, but they're a minority. Well, we hope anyway.
Do you feel like also? I feel like you kind of said it, because like when I was thinking about this, I was thinking it's maybe because obviously, like you said, the world's kind of evolved, and obviously guys, and even women too, kind of want women or expect women to kind of be to function like they used to.
Yeah.
And when you come into this new world where a lot of these women can challenge you and do some of the same things you do, it's almost like I have to kind of step up my game and do more things to maintain that head of the household role.
Interesting, actually, because the girl I follow on Twitter, her name is Joyce, and she actually tweeted a thing. Actually get it. So basically, she's Nigerian. She lives here, but she's moved to Dubai now, and she got a really good job. I think she's like a SEO, that kind of job. And basically, there's a man who said he wants to reach out to her family, I guess to try and see if he can marry her, whatever. He's Nigerian. And basically, he was telling her about, like, so what he does. So she said she doesn't feel like, she told him like they're not going to be compatible because there's a difference in their earning, essentially. And he's got like a traditional mindset where he was like to her, would you give up your job for work? Like, would you give up your job for love? And she was like, no, because a career, like, it brings her happiness. It's also part of who she is and whatever. Let me read the thing word for word, actually. She said, this guy in Nigeria that knows my family asked if it would be okay for him to speak to my parents about marriage. And I said, no, I don't have an interest in marrying him. He asked why, and I have my reasons. He focused on the financial reason. I simply said we aren't in the same financial place, and I don't think it's fair on both of us. One, I don't want to limit my lifestyle, and he shouldn't be pressured to earn more. It's just unfair on the both of us, in my opinion. He asked if I would give up my work for love, and I said absolutely not. I explained I love my job. It's something that brings me happiness and makes me who I am. It's also part of my personal brand, so it simply cannot go. He said my reasoning is not realistic. He gave me a range of his annual salary in Naira, which was around 100,000 to 200,000 Naira, which is fine. I said that isn't bad. That's what he earns and good on him. I gave him mine in Naira, which is 28 million to 34 million. And he said, I can't earn more than my husband. I called him insecure, and he said a man is supposed to be the provider, and there is nothing insecure about that. So I told him to go and provide for someone within his bracket. He can't provide for me, so he said he will report her to her family. And that's my issue, is that that's like a man who obviously thinks traditionally. I feel like in this day and age, a lot of these fights and whatever, I think people could just go for what it is that is in line with your values. If you want a woman who's a housewife, blah, blah, those women exist, you know. They exist. But my issue is always when you want a woman who you know is independent, who you know thrives off having a career, who you know this, but it's like you want to be the one to kind of humble her.
That doesn't make sense though. Anyway, the guy's tripping.
100%.
Yeah, but that's the
Of course
thing.
he's tripping. You can't say, even if he's traditional, talking about he wants to provide. If he wants to provide and he really cares for her, why would he want to put her in a worse situation?
Do you know what
if
it is
she's
though?
earning 30 million a year and he earns 1 million a year, he can't be talking about get rid of that and let me come provide for you. She's right. Like,
No, but
go
you
and
know what it is
provide
though?
for someone who needs you.
You say it's tripping, but that is the culture in Nigeria.
No, but what I'm saying
basically,
he's tripping is because he's pretending like he wants to care for her. So he's saying, I'm going to take you, I'm going to think, I want to care for you. That means he's got your best interest at heart and your well-being. But if he really has, you'd be better off without him. Kind of, like. So who'd leave you if that was genuine?
But a lot of men don't think like that. And a majority, because that's the thing that's why I always say that I don't want to marry a man, a Nigerian man from back home. Because this is their mindset. Like I remember listening to, I said what I said, yeah. And they got a dilemma from this woman. Her career, like she and her husband were both earning really well. She got a promotion where she was going to out-earn her husband. She said his attitude changed towards her. And he was like, you can't take that. And literally, she then said, and then she passed up on the promotion. And then, do you know what he did? He ended up being loving again and kind to her. And then they were actually saying that apparently in Nigeria, like that's actually a common thing with like some workplaces at HR, where basically they help you falsify your pay slip. So they give you your real pay slip with your actual pay. Then they give you the pay slip that you go and show your husband.
Oh, wow.
But everyone's posturing and fronting because this girl, yeah, obviously we don't want to speak for her, yeah. But if the guy who wanted to contact her family, yeah, was making 500 million naira a year, then what then?
I don't understand.
Is she cool? Would it be cool enough for her? Because obviously, what her work and her job, it meant so much to her. It was a personality, a brand. It was, so it's not going to go in it. But if the guy had that much worth and would she get rid of it for him then or not?
No, but she was saying that he only focused on the financial part. There was other reasons.
There was other reasons why she didn't want it, but he focused on the financial part.
But I don't understand. You Nigerians in the room, I don't get it.
Talk to us, bro.
Yeah. So this man came to the family.
Yeah.
And he was trying to convince them he was the best fit for the family.
Well, he asked her for permission to speak to the family. I don't think he went to them yet.
But
am I wrong?
I think
Nigerian families, like, don't they have ears and eyes and?
No, but that's the thing though, because she said,
is it logic? I didn't logic based.
No.
She earns currently more than
Way
him
more.
by far.
Yeah.
And he's approached her to say, let me go and chat to your parents. I can convince them that me and your life is better. But you have to basically stop what you're doing that earns more.
Yeah.
And come by my side. How does that even make any sense? And this Joyce girl, is she loud on Twitter?
She's known on Twitter. She's known on Twitter.
But this doesn't sound like a real conversation.
It is though. But do you know what it is though? The thing is, because there are men who wouldn't mind their wife out earning them. You wouldn't know until you start speaking to somebody. Obviously, she said that there are other reasons, but he focused on the financial bit. But that's to do with his insecurity. There are men who wouldn't mind the fact that their wife earns like 100% more than they earn. And I feel like if that wasn't maybe an issue, obviously regardless of whatever else was going on, that might have been cool. But from him saying he was gonna go to the family to ask for this and blah blah. Because he said he's going to report to my family, but she said my family's going to laugh at him because that's dumb anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it depends on the family dynamic. I'm not sure what your question is exactly.
Report to the family?
That's basically.
that's a traditional.
I think you kind of answer what Ben was saying. Because
That's a traditional way of thinking.
Basically, are you basically saying why is it that a family would even give him the time?
How could you consider that?
Yeah, but how would you know though?
That's
you wouldn't know
nonsense.
until they have conversation that he's insecure. So if a man comes to my mum and says I'm interested in your daughter, blah blah. Okay, yeah, you can talk to my daughter. We're not going to know how he thinks and what his mindset is until we have a conversation with him.
Let me remove the parents from this, right?
Yeah.
Are men in Nigeria so stupid? Because that's a stupid approach.
No, but Brent, it's not just a Nigeria thing, though. You know, I think it's just a.
Let's just say it's not a Nigerian thing, right? You've come to a woman who's earning way more than you, right? And you're saying, give all that up to being by my side.
Do you know what it is? Oh, let me tell you what it is. Do you know what it is actually? I feel I get your question now. Because the thing is, there is a lot of importance placed on love and marriage. The reason why the men can come and be brazen enough to even suggest that is because there's so much importance and emphasis on marriage, and you can accomplish the world. You could be Bill Gates. If you don't have a husband, certain cultures, you don't earn anything. So the reason why they can do that is because they know that I guess that quote unquote desperation and that desire to be validated and have that social status of I'm married. That's why Two-Face's wife is still there. There's a social status that comes with being married in certain cultures, definitely in Nigeria.
I thought
so. It is that.
And financial security trumped all that bollocks in Nigeria.
I just told you a real life scenario where the woman got a promotion that she'd been working hard for years, and her husband started mistreating her because of that, and she passed the opportunity, and he went back to being nothing.
I'm talking about the family. You said that love is kind of valued higher than riches. To me, that doesn't make any sense.
But that's the thing. It's a social status.
It's not love.
It's not love. It's marriage.
It's
a social status that comes with marriage. That comes with marriage. That is
the social status of marriage. You being married.
Yes.
It's far more important than the family being wealthy.
Bro.
A lot of the time,
You'd be surprised.
I don't particularly agree with that though.
Huh?
I don't particularly agree with that.
But that's how it is back home though.
That don't make no sense to me.
Yeah, of course, it's not your. You wouldn't know because you're not exposed to that.
I wouldn't even think if anybody asked me if that is what the case is in Nigeria. It wouldn't compute because y'all are known as hustlers.
Like, I hear what you guys are saying, but I don't see it that way. I don't feel like marriage trumps wealth in Nigeria, in my opinion.
Fair.
Yeah.
What if I see why you're saying that though.
Yeah,
I see why you're saying,
But I
because
think it
obviously the
depends on
nation.
family, though.
Obviously, no, but that's the thing though. It's not a general statement. It's not a statement that applies to everybody because it doesn't apply to me, it doesn't apply to you. But there are people. My point is that there are people with this mindset. That's what I'm speaking to. I'm not speaking to the nation as a whole. I'm not doing it. I'm saying there are certain people like that where that is the case. There are people who marry their daughters off to somebody that is a man who's poor. Like the man is not like, he's not rich. There's no wealth that comes from him, but it's the fact that our daughter married this person. Because again, marriage is that social status, and the person, they know that person is poor. They know he doesn't own land, he doesn't own cattle, he doesn't own anything. But it's the fact that yes, we've been able to marry off our daughter. So for some people, certain cultures, some people, marriage is it's a social status in itself.
100%. But I think both sides are correct, Brent. It's because like one side, if they've got money, they know about money, they're not going to marry their child to somebody who's got less money. 100%, like you were saying. But in like most families who are kind of just average and below, marriage is what matters, because then you've got kids. You know what I'm saying? Then the family continues. So the wealth part, none of them are familiar with wealth anyway. So why you know?
And I feel like wealth as well. Wealth is subjective. Wealth is whatever wealth is to you. Some people that is their generation, and keeping the family name alive. Some people that is actual like money, material things. It just depends, man. But it's crazy.
Yeah. Do you feel like in this country though, right, that okay, where do you think people marry for the wrong reasons more? I know it may sound like a silly question, but think about it. Here or back home?
Here.
And when back home, I mean West Indies as well, Caribbean, Caribbean, Africa.
What's the wrong reasons?
Whatever you deem wrong.
I reckon probably back home.
Here then.
Okay.
I reckon back home.
So two different sides. What about you, Esther? And Brent?
I think it's tricky. I feel like both.
I don't know what you would call wrong reasons, but in my mind, it would be like people marrying out of love and just for money and stuff, or people marrying for stay and passports and these kind of things and just all these kind of things. That's happening way more over here than back home. That's going to be rife over here.
They don't have to stay back home. They're already there.
There you go. So I'm saying here.
But the thing is, I kind of count that as being back home. Like if you're getting married for stay, that's to me. That's back home business. You know what I mean? But there's so many, because even if back home, for example, you can get married out of pressure, arranged marriages.
Yeah.
Your parents are marrying you off because they feel like you're a certain age, so you got to get married. There's a lot of marriages in that happen back home that you're forced into.
Yeah, but that's new. That's a new age sentiment that people would understand. That is from
New
traditions.
age.
And
That's old.
Them old
That's
brides ain't
old.
telling you
exactly, that's traditions. It's not fair to say that's wrong reasons. Someone getting in an arranged marriage, you can't say it's not fair to say it's the wrong reasons now because in 2023 we're looking at it. That's not the wrong reason.
Do you know why it's
That's
fair
just-
to say?
that's
No,
tradition.
Do you know why it's fair to
You've
say
been
it's the wrong
betrothed.
reasons?
It don't mean
know why
it's
it's fair
right
to say
because
it's
it's tradition.
Right.
Because the bride in 1955 didn't want to marry that man.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
So
I just think
it's
I think
always
that's
been the wrong
unfair to say,
reasons.
that's that arranged marriages and saying they're getting married for the wrong reasons. That's people's traditions. People have been doing that for hundreds of years. I don't think I don't think putting arranged marriages in the category of wrong reasons.
But it doesn't make it right though.
No,
What we're
but
speaking
one,
of,
I'm not
though-
talking about all arranged marriages. The
Yeah.
ones that are done under,
That's why it's not fair.
Under pressure, the ones that are done when they don't want to get married because their parents feel like you're a certain age now. Oh, I found a man for you.
Yeah, no, of course. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
that's why it's not fair because there's plenty of arranged marriages that have lasted the test of time and been successful.
No, but you know
and built
that
plenty
arranged
families.
marriages
Yeah, but
where
some don't.
There's a
That's why I'm saying it's not fair to put all arranged marriages
Okay,
in the
wait a
category of wrong reasons.
But there's arranged marriages here where you actually can have a say. Like this is the person. Like actually, no, I don't want to marry him, and that's cool. There's arranged marriages where you don't get a say. They just say, by the way, tomorrow's your wedding day.
Yeah.
Show up.
False, yeah.
That's it. Do you get what I mean? Those are wrong reasons. Anything that if your ability to make an informed decision by yourself, that autonomy is taken away from you, it's a bad reason in my opinion. Because the reason behind this happening has got nothing to do with your needs.
Yeah.
It's to do with whoever it is that arranged it. Obviously, not all arranged marriages are like crazy, but if you have a say, I think that's better because you can pick and choose in a way. But if you don't have a say, and you're forced into it. Western eyes, 2023 or not, that will always be wild to me.
So you see like people in positions of power, yeah, and people who do that kind of stuff, yeah, that still do that kind of stuff, yeah, and like they want to secure their bloodlines and stuff like that. They get people when they're doing this stuff, they're not doing it for no reason. They're going to they've come from good stock. they've earned well, they've done all this stuff. Everything that they've done, yeah, they're gonna go and put down to their kids. They don't want it to go waste, and they go find another family now and all that. All this stuff, whether it be political, whatever, it's all powerful.
Yeah.
Your daughter's gonna come together with my daughter. Our two great houses are gonna combine. We're gonna move forward. Boom, boom, boom. And however the kid feels about that, regardless, all that kind of stuff is that wrong reasons too? If it's benefiting, like your marriage is benefiting you and us, it's benefiting our legacy, our family, our everything.
Who's that
but
that?
that-
No, and keep the family name
Yeah,
alive.
but this is what you're,
but
this is
that
what you're
man-
born
yeah,
into.
but
But I'm
that-
saying, is that wrong reasons too?
That might not be that child's story. That might not be what they want to do.
That's cool, but what I'm trying to say is that wrong reasons too, though. Is that because man
Yes.
should be in their within their
Charles
right to
married
protect
Diana
their
for wrong
family's best
reasons.
interest? No.
Nah, man.
I guess it
If you got
depends.
nothing to lose, it's easy to talk like that and say it. But when you got invested in your interest and you want to protect them, what's wrong with that? How's that wrong reasons too?
I think it's the right reasons if the child is complicit.
This is it.
If the child's forced into it, then it's wrong.
Charles married Diana for the wrong reasons. End up killing the poor woman. Charles marrying Diana was for wrong reasons. Because the family wanted to maintain a certain image and maintain this and that, whatever.
That worked out
was
for
wrong
everybody. That
reasons.
was a transaction that was calm. That weren't the wrong reasons for marriage.
That's wrong reasons, babes.
Them aristocrats, that's that them their circles. That was the right reason. That was perfect. That was the right thing to do.
Charles didn't consent to it. He had no choice but to do it.
Yeah, but Charles is being an idiot. He's worrying about loving them thing there. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's the right thing to do. They done it. Like, you know what? I don't know.
I
I
can't
get
take this
it.
conversation seriously with you.
No, I hear you because I hear where you're coming from, but we're just ignoring.
I think it also depends on like from whose angle. Like for example, from the Queen's angle,
Exactly, mate.
that's not a wrong decision.
Exactly.
But from the person,
The Queen's the head of the household,
that's what I'm saying.
and it all trickles down. So what are we talking about? This? So it's the right decision then.
Yeah,
Why?
but
Why
from
is
the
it right
person,
decision?
Because I'm the boss.
but the person getting married.
Just because
that
you're the
may
boss,
be
it don't mean
a bad
you don't mean you're making
Yes,
right
but
decisions.
you are in your insubordinate. You know what?
Insubordination.
No, forget it. I can't even get
The
it.
boss,
I get it though. I get it.
Of
Though.
course you do.
No, I tell
You
you.
think like that's something new.
Yeah.
No, because to me, I like.
You're both dictators.
This is why.
That's why you get it.
No, but
This
the
is probably
boss,
why
the
I don't
boss
like
doesn't always
Harry
make
that.
right decisions though.
That's true.
True.
That's true.
Very true.
That's true.
And then if you look at the end result,
Okay.
it ended Diana dying. So then in hindsight, how was that the right decision?
And him talking dirty to Camilla.
For Diana, even for the family, because it all ended in a mess.
In a
It
mess.
was a big mess. And he's ended up marrying the
The
original woman he was
wanted
living
to be
anyway.
who wanted to be the tampon of. Yeah, look, it's crazy.
And look at Phillip.
See me? What Phillip?
Right. All right. Well, I think we can kind of wrap it up there, man.
Oh, they okay.
Or is that kind of premature?
I
What
thought
you
I
gonna
saw
say?
bare more questions on this. No?
No, just
Oh no, they were all kind of linked in.
Oh,
okay.
I feel like you were gonna say something, Esther.
No, sorry.
You sure?
Yeah, of course. All right, let's get to our next headlines then.
This next headline is about somebody who was a product of a right or wrong marriage, depending on the angle you look at it.
Before we move on,
Yes.
nice little question that's kind of plucked from the conversation that's happening in the chat. So we know back in the day, love wasn't really the prevalent thing that was put on the table when it is looking to join two people, right? But that practice still continues in some countries, some cultures now. And then the other side is, marry for love. What do you guys think is the best practice?
Marrying
What,
for love or
marrying for
marrying
love
for
or-
survival?
No. Survival. What does survival mean? I'm talking about traditional arranged marriage as opposed to marrying for love.
Or marrying for love all the time with me?
hold on. Love and then what? What's the other
So,
one?
either which do you think is better? Marrying for, is that the better, right? Marrying for tradition or marrying for love? Is that the question, Brent?
As in arranged marriage, how it used to be. As in you're partnering two people, two families in order to continue something. Yes?
Yeah.
And just to have
And-
kids, basically.
Yeah.
Are you saying which is better or which is more productive?
Which is better.
Marrying for love.
I'll say married for love because the other one is probably ending divorce.
Yeah. Or
That's
killings.
a good question you asked, though. Better or productive?
Yeah.
Because productive might be better, depending on who you are.
But I think even productive wise, I think marrying for love is still more productive.
I probably think, well,
Sure.
I might not-
As opposed to the family thing?
Yeah.
I might not be right in this, but I reckon marriages that are based on love probably last longer. Because once you get over the stage of appeasing your parents and that, you can do what you want after that.
Right.
And you can get divorced after a couple of years, and then it's done.
But it depends on if you're getting married just because of your parents. If you're getting married because of like linking the families, keeping wealth in there and all that type of stuff, I feel like there's going to be a respect there,
100%.
and a continual incentive to keep to
When
stay
there's
together.
jeopardy in
Yeah, no, I
a
hear that.
situation, it's different. So obviously, it's easy. Like if you've got nothing, or not nothing. But I'm just saying, if there's,
Yeah.
of course you can marry for love. That's what you're worried about. When there's people there with empires and these things, their mindset's going to be totally different.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't taking this question talking about empires and stuff. It's more so just regular like marriages.
Do you know what it is? I think because when I think about love, like love affects the quality of life, and for me, quality of life just like having a good quality of life trumps everything, and I don't think that arranged marriage, like the ones where you're forced, produces good quality of life, and that will affect the production. Like, so marrying for love for me will always be a better option than everything, because then anything that comes out of this, whatever fruit, whatever abundance comes out of this love that we have, will always be more productive than the other thing for me.
See, to me, I'm not saying anyone's doing this, right? But I feel like we have to separate arranged marriage, being forced, and arranged marriage out of a sense of duty, because sometimes like
That's still forced though.
I don't think so.
Do you think out of a sense of duty is being forced? You don't think that Charles was forced to marry Diana?
No,
He might have been forced, but it might have been-
But no, but it was a sense of duty. But do you think that he was forced?
Was he forced to be king too?
I'm done. We'll get one question at a time. Answer my question first.
Let's be
Was
fair.
he no. It's not about being fair. Answer my question first. It was a thing of duty. But do you think that with a sense that thing of duty came force?
Honestly,
No, I think it was forced because he was with Camilla before and during the whole entire marriage. So clearly, Diana wasn't a woman he wanted to marry. It was Camilla all along. Hence
Exactly,
why
and
he's with her. Hence why he's with her now.
When you say forced, who's the other one? What's the other one who went and married the American gal and gave up all his?
Harry.
Gave up. Harry done it again now. There's one who done it before.
She said Harry.
he would have been the king.
He would have been the king.
I'm a young
the Queen's
bird.
uncle.
The Queen's uncle. He would have been the king. He give it all up to marry the
marry the woman.
I worked
American
on the
girl that he
Crown,
loves.
actually. Yeah.
Who's this? Who's
The Queen's uncle.
The Queen's uncle,
Yeah.
man. He would have been the king, bro.
He would have been the king.
Yeah,
the
but that
king.
was his prerogative. bro.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
what
So-
type of
so
force are we
force.
talking
That's what I'm
about?
saying.
No, but
Charles
no,
knows his duty.
but he's talking about Charles specifically.
If Charles loved Camilla as more than his duty to the crown, he would have done what his uncle done and left.
But
He done it for his duty to be the
I'm
king.
not-
No one forcing him to do
I'm
nothing.
not arguing about
I
his
think
whether
I think it was
duty or not.
selfishness. I think he wanted
To be king.
100%.
Well,
And
even
he
so,
knew-
though.
He knew full well that if it is that he did what his flipping uncle did, he wouldn't have that.
So but even so, that's
I
not
don't think it was
forced.
duty.
That's
I'll be
not
honest with you,
forced then. That's still not forced though. It was a choice that he made.
He had a choice.
So it's not forced then. It's still saying forced is wrong.
Okay,
No,
forget
I
Charles.
still
Yeah,
believe you can still say it was forced.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to do it.
He made a choice.
You just said he wanted it. You said it was his choice. He wanted to be
He
king.
didn't
Forget
want
the
to
duty.
marry that woman.
No, but he
would
wanted
rather
to be
marry
king. No, but
Camilla.
he wanted to be king. He's not cutting off his nose to spite his face. He wanted to be
We're
king.
saying two different things.
Margs.
We're saying two different things.
He-
It's not forced.
He wanted to marry Camilla.
He reluctantly.
He wanted to be king more.
He reluctantly
We're saying two different things.
married Diana.
Both things are true.
Okay, cool. So it's not forced then.
It's partly
One
forced.
is and one isn't.
No,
It is.
no.
He was partly forced to marry the woman he didn't want to marry, right? To
be king.
To be king.
If his uncle just left and gave it all up, then there's no forcing him. He
What are you
didn't work.
talking
He
about?
couldn't.
He's
What's
not
the
his
uncle doing?
He's forced with a
uncle.
gun to his head. He didn't have to do it if he
Separate
didn't
the
want
uncle.
to.
Separate the
What's the
uncle.
uncle
They're
got to do
two
anything?
different
He's
people.
not
Because basically
You
what I'm
just
trying
said
to
he's
say
made-
is,
Okay,
like
forget it.
in order, like the uncle could have been king,
Yes.
right? That's how high he was, right? And turn it down for the woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Margaret is saying Charles could have done the same thing. If he couldn't have done the same thing, that's false. But the fact that he could have walked away and chosen Camilla.
No, but we all know he didn't want to marry Diana. That's what I'm saying. Like we all know that. So
Yeah, but he wanted to be king more than marry Camilla. He wanted to be king more.
That doesn't mean he wasn't forced to marry
He
Diana.
was. Okay. Okay.
You're not understanding. Two things are true.
Yeah.
Okay. I said okay.
Okay.
Like,
But also, yeah.
I'm not talking about his desire to be king. I'm talking about the specific act of marrying this
Diana.
woman, Diana. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Okay.
Okay, but
What I was talking about is that when you said about having a duty to do something,
yeah.
I think that can
false.
that can translate to force as well.
Okay, so this is what I was basically trying to say. I feel as though, for example, if right now none of us are used to that culture of force, like real life force, like families having to come together, right? If your parents came to you today and said, "You have to do this," that's force. If you was raised up, to me, in my opinion, if you was raised up in this family, knowing that one day there's a sense of duty for you to do what's necessary for this family to continue, for us to keep this wealth and this, that, and the third, I don't think that's force. I think that's more so, I understand my role, I understand the divine right I have to be in this position, and I'm going to continue it, like those before me and like those after me. I think that's different to being forced. That's basically what
I
I'm
hear
trying
it,
to say.
and I don't believe it's like 100% forced. I think it's a mixture of a lot of different things, isn't it? Because like you said, if you're in the royal family, you understand your role and what you have to do.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like he was just forced to marry a woman he didn't want to marry. Because there was a list of stipulations why he couldn't marry Camilla, right? Because she was
Divorcee,
a divorcee and all these other reasons, isn't it? So he grew up knowing his role, right? But he just married a woman he didn't want to marry.
Yeah, and I get where you're coming from, yeah. And there might be people in the monarchy, yeah, who don't want to do things for the like whether it be marrying people and whatnot,
Yeah.
and they can feel like they're being forced, yeah. But we've got a president's been set. Someone in the monarchy gave it all up. They've done it a couple of times, so that again shows no one's being forced, whether they like it or not, whether they have to make the best of bad choices and decisions. It's decisions that they're making. If they want to, they can leave it all, and no one can't make them do nothing. You get me? So no one ain't being forced. You get me? Whether they like their decision or not, they've made a choice, yeah, that their duty and their role in this monarchy is worth more than my overall happiness and whatever it may be. So I'm gonna go and do this. That's not being forced, man.
There's some holes there, but
We just agree to disagree.
So that is to do with like empires and monarchies and this and that. This isn't your lived experiences, right?
Yeah.
So does your opinion change based on how you live your life?
Yeah. Because if you're just telling me, like, what's the point? If you can't just tell me I've got to marry this girl from over there, and there's no, because when I'm saying, okay, why? Well, why, mum? Why? You know what I'm trying to say? Because you need why? If you're telling me, oh yeah, look, they got this, they got that, we're gonna do this, and if you're just saying because I said so,
yeah.
like, and it's what's the benefit of this here? Like, why?
But can someone reluctantly do something to get to an end goal? Like they really want this end goal, but a few of the things they got to do to get there, they don't really want to do it, but they're just taking the rough with the smooth, basically.
Yeah, cool, but then that would be in the why, innit? When I'm asking why, you would let me know and I understand what the end goal is and what the vision is, and then I can. But if you ain't got no end goal for me or no vision, then where are we moving?
But if there was a path that would have been more appeasing to that particular person, right, and they still could have got to the end goal, but he had to do it his mother's way, right? Like the rules of like the monarchy can change the rules, right? Like
Kind of.
I'm sure he could have married Camilla, right? The reasons why he couldn't marry Camilla aren't reasons that they couldn't overturn, right? Or no?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll probably have to, because certain laws have been there for hundreds of years. They may be able to do it in theory, but I think it's
They can
a
do
lot more
whatever they
complex.
want.
Yeah,
to be
well,
honest.
Well, you say that.
The thing is-
Whatever laws they got to get passed have got to get run through Parliament first
Yeah,
as well. So
that's
it's not
it.
as easy as
yeah, they do.
They gave up that ages ago. That's why the Parliament. Yeah, the Crown gave that up ages ago.
Because they can do whatever they want. Come on, man.
100%.
Let's be honest. They can do whatever they want.
There's more power.
Within
Parliament
reason,
has
there's more power in the Parliament than monarchy. They can't
100%.
overrule what that they gave the power to the politicians, bro. They can't.
With certain things or everything. In regards to this, in regards to who you can marry and all that stuff.
I don't
see how that's a
I don't
Parliament
know,
decision.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I'm not too sure. To be honest. I'm not too sure.
I don't know if I'm honest.
I think they had enough grease back in the day to lean on Parliament to say this is what it is we want, make it so. 100%.
Yeah, but how long's Parliament been? But now, back in the day, when the transitions, when it first transitioned, and there's definitely a lot of grease in it. There's a lot of 100% when it first happened. By now, Parliament's been hundreds. By now, Parliament's got it. The monarchy.
Remember we're talking about the period when the Crown was showing us.
Okay,
It had
yeah.
enough grease to basically tell the Prime Minister or the Cabinet or whatever, we need to switch this, make it happen.
You mean just a few decades ago?
Just the same period in which it is that we're discussing.
Talking about with Camilla and that.
Yes,
I'm not too
100%.
sure. What's really changed between now and then? And now and then? You know what I
The
mean?
monarchy has no power at all, whatsoever.
Compared to what when under
The
the
same
Queen?
period in which we're talking about.
Yeah, but I don't think anything's changed in terms of the power. I don't think they had power back then under the Queen as well. They had influence, but like the Parliament had final say.
The same period we're talking about?
Yeah,
That Queen had no influence or power?
she had influence, but she didn't have like more power than Parliament.
I don't see it like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
No, I could hear you telling me because I could understand English. I don't see it like that.
All
Right.
Because this is why I'm asking you, like, Brent, what's changed since then?
I
Like,
don't know. The fact that
you know what I mean?
the fact that it is that you could, and I guess I hear part of what you're saying because I think the Queen wanted to keep the boat, but they were like, nope, sorry, not making economic sense. Sink it. Right? So in that sense, you can see how their power was diminishing, right? But in this sense, you might be right. I don't think that they could have changed something so pivotal at that point because it would have shifted everything. And I think that even at that stage, they were struggling to keep that particular air of I'm still running things.
Exactly. 100%.
So I agree.
Especially when you had prime ministers that would remind the monarchy, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
Like a Thatcher, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and even looking to keep indiscretions like what them royals were doing, like left, right, and centre. I think it would be to the benefit of Parliament to do that. Hence them.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, keeping the rules going. Yeah. Okay.
And you know what I think, what I was trying to say, is that regardless, obviously it's the monarchy in it, So the king probably does have enough. It's the king in it. You know what I'm trying to say? So he can probably get whatever he wants done, not even within reason, because he's the king in it. My thing is, what I'm looking at is that who really holds the weight in it, So that's when they're working together. So obviously you've given them their front face, and that's when they're working together. I'm saying if Charles and Rishi had beef, he can't. What's he gonna do? Rishi's. You know what I'm trying to say?
Say Boris. Don't use an interloper. Don't do that.
So, but if their two heads of states are beefing, where's the power lie? This is what I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Where's the power lie?
I think Boris will lick him up. Because Boris will have the people.
Well, there you go then. That's my point I'm making.
Because even in The Crown, we saw when the new Prime Minister came in, he wasn't respecting all of that regalia. He was waltzing in gold swords. The Queen had to kind of fluff him up. Yeah. It's interesting. All right, so this is not our lived experience, right? So we're talking about furthering or keeping this particular monarchy and the duty in this to annex. But this is not how we live, especially in this Western world, right? So give me a reason as to why I should still, I guess, support or advocate for this particular arranged marriage in this Western society. I could understand you now saying, but back home is different. They live differently.
Okay.
So us arguing this, argue it from this particular lens that we're living in. Make the point.
If I understand what you're saying, this is one angle, I think, from an economics position here. I think love has showed that. Okay, it's hard for me to say that all these divorces have been from marriages.
Remember, back home, sometimes it's just your dad's friends that he knows from the 70s. You just have a good relationship. Let me marry my daughter to your son. True. Sometimes it's just that.
100%. No, you're 100% right. Yeah. But then, when you look at those same marriages, a lot of the time, they don't divorce. They're happy. They have kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the whole love thing, again, 40% divorce rate. Potentially, again, it's hard for me to say all their marriages were from love anyway. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, if I don't know, I feel like people need more than love nowadays to stay together.
I think more marriages will stay together for money than for love.
Yeah, that's what I think.
In my opinion. Like, you will stay with someone if you're comfortable, financially stable, than more so for love, I think.
No one stayed in a relationship because of love.
Yeah, there you go.
You need commitments. You need children, you need businesses, you need houses. You get me? There's got to be some type of jeopardy that I tell you all the time. Well, if it's just love, what love? Just like air strings that I can just cut.
That's an air string.
No, that's not. They ain't keeping nobody together, man. Trust me, he's the best. Stay woke. Have some kids or buy some yards or something.
Yeah, but I'm assuming all that's there already though. I'm like kids, love, living together, houses, all that stuff. But I mean, if the marriage is getting rocky, people might stay more so because they're financially stable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
As opposed to staying out of love. You know what I mean? You might still love your partner, but he might have done this, he might have done that. You still love him, but I'm gone now. But if the money is there, you may stay.
I want to ask a question, but maybe you guys can just give me like quick 2-minute answers here before we move on.
Before you move on, would the men in the panel marry a woman they are not attracted to, but would improve the family finances?
No.
How much money are we talking? Give me a figure, man.
It's difficult to basically put this to you because you would be in a marriage and you'd be lacing all the chicks anyway without even flinching. You don't believe in these constructs anyway. So, Manuel, answer the question.
So wait, what's the thing? If I
Would
wasn't
you-
attracted?
Character assassination.
Yeah.
And the proper character assassination, man. That
You
is
didn't say
wild.
it. You didn't rebut it. You
I
like,
like, you didn't even defend yourself. You just looked at him and smiled.
He preaching.
When someone's punching down on you, sometimes just
Well, and I'm just a regular guy, or am I like?
You are Emmanuel.
No,
So you don't believe in economics overall.
I do, but this is what I'm trying to say. Like, if there's a sense of duty as well, like for my family, I could do it.
Yeah, but that's a question. Would the man... Would
It's
the
not
man
us, I might just a regular. Huh?
you are Emmanuel. So would you marry a woman
Yeah, go
you
on.
are not attracted to but would improve the family finances?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to ask, right, is basically the family finances, right? Are we kind of like a big family? Are we like wealthy already, or are we just regular?
You're Emmanuel.
Your man ain't doing it. That's
Of course he isn't.
short. Of course he's not doing it.
But I said that first. But I'm also saying if I was like rich and I came from like a big family and we had certain wealth, I'll do it because I believe in duty.
And it's so interesting because whenever you make the argument, you always place yourself in a circumstance that you don't live in.
No, but I gave the first answer. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also because remember this is why I've kind of had these issues with like Prince Harry. You know what I'm saying? And the whole Meghan thing because I believe in duty.
So if you were rich,
Yeah.
when you get rich, would you marry a woman you're not attracted to carry on that particular wealth?
No, because I.
So
am
you
rich.
still said no?
No, because I am rich. No, because I am rich. If this was something that like I was born into this, like the families need it to continue. It's been happening for a while. I would do it. 100%, I'll do it. 100%.
I don't know if it is you can place yourself in that scenario. I don't know. You're saying that because it suits the argument you're making, but I don't think that you're doing it. Especially if it is you're living in this particular westernized society. I don't think you're doing that. And because I know your brain. You're not marrying a woman you're not attracted to.
Yeah, but you have to also understand. But I also believe in everyone's duty to the community as well, and to their families. You know what I'm saying? And when that's added into it, I'll look at everything. But yes, 100%. I answered the question already. The first part, yes, of course. As I am, no, I wouldn't.
I
So
think
you-
it's time
but
for
I
the
am-
trend.
So hold on. So are you more Prince William or Prince Harry?
William.
Or
No,
William?
not in terms of their characters.
William?
I don't-
No. In terms of
Just in
like
terms of
your
the-
duty to the monarchy
yeah,
and
definitely.
potentially, I guess, being unhappy but still serving
Yeah.
and doing your duty.
Definitely.
As opposed to, I guess, Harry might be happier, but he's no longer within the monarchy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mark, what about you?
what was the word again? Sorry.
Would you rather be William or Harry? So
What right now?
yeah. So the premise is you.
What, right in this second?
Yeah.
William. Is William gonna be king?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's let's add in the guys that he is doing his duty basically, but he's unhappy. Yeah, but he's doing his duty, and then Harry is happy with his life with Meghan, whatever, but he's no longer in the monarchy.
William.
William still okay.
I want to be the king. Okay. So I don't know what Harry's just Harry now. Harry was a monarch the other day. Now he's just Harry. Since he left, I didn't even watch him anymore. I don't know no business about Harry.
Remember, he's not in line to be king though.
Yeah, but he could have been.
No, he couldn't have been.
He could have killed his brothers. There's things that he could have done. Are you crazy? You don't mean like you don't watch Game of Thrones. There's things he could have done. He had
So he
a
didn't want
line.
enough.
There was a line to the throne.
For him to be king, he'll have to kill his nephew too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
You're moving like you ain't seen Game of Thrones.
This is real life, nigga.
I'm just saying, whoever's got to go has got to go. And if Harry ain't got no ambition, that's on Harry. But I'm telling you now, if I was
Saying
Harry,
he had no ambition.
yeah. If I have Harry, I would
Yeah.
just let you know I'm a whisker away from that throne.
a whisker.
Nanny would have been worried. Everybody, they would have kicked me out anyway. They would have said, "No, this
We
one,
can't trust this one.
we can't trust this one." He's got to go.
Emmanuel, they've asked, seeing as it is that you are so tied to carrying on tradition,
Yeah.
especially when it's the continuance of wealth within your particular lineage, would you marry into a white family? Would you marry a white woman?
No, but that doesn't continue my family. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you have little black babies?
We were just talking about wealth, right?
Yeah. Oh, no. The wealth needs to be with my black family. There's wealth for me, no.
There's your answer. He says no.
No, that's a very easy answer. Easy question. Yeah. All right. Harry. So Prince Harry has accused tabloid newspapers of hacking his voicemails when he was a teenager, saying it made him feel he couldn't trust anybody. Appearing in court in his case against the Mirror Group, MGN, Mirror Group newspapers, he said he has experienced hostility from the press since he was born. He's the first senior royal to give evidence in court in over 130 years, you know. MGN's lawyer said that he had sympathy for the Duke, but denied journalists' actions were all unlawful. Prince Harry arrived on Tuesday morning at London's High Court dressed in a dark suit and looking relaxed. Dozens of journalists only had a matter of seconds to get their photographs as he made his way swiftly into the building. In court, he was cross-examined by MGN lawyer Andrew Green, KC, who became increasingly direct in his challenges as the hearing wore on. The Prince grew in confidence after a nervous start. But yeah, man, this is what the Prince has been experiencing, man. I guess this is why he wanted to leave. Although, William experienced the same thing, but decided to, you know, follow and understand duty.
And look at how miserable he lives.
But
He hates that woman, man.
Why do you say that, though?
He cheats on her anyway, allegedly.
Well, we don't know. You know, we're regular people compared to them.
I don't know about you, but my ears is to the streets. So.
The royal streets.
Listen, any streets, I get the tea.
All right, that's true. That's true.
Man thinks rich people are allowed to cheat anyway.
Anyway, that's all I understand.
Sounds about Nigerian.
Second headline takes us to Sudan, where the Congolese government, trigger warning here, some murders in this conflict. And the Congolese government have said that 10 people from the Democratic Republic of Congo have been killed in an army attack on a university campus in Sudan. They died in the bombardments on Sunday afternoon at Khartoum's International University of Africa, it said. The foreign minister said that what hurts us very much is that it was a regular army that dropped the bombs, knowing that there were foreigners there. Rival military forces have been battling in Sudan's capital for weeks. Paramilitary fighters of the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, have bases in many residential areas across the city, which tend to be attacked by the military from air. It's not clear if those caught up in Sunday's bombing were university students. It may have been a situation where they were in the area or, you know, something like that, basically. And, yeah, sad, man. And the last headline is an update from yesterday. Remember yesterday we spoke about the BBC, British Airways and Boots being hacked, right? So that same group has come out, this prolific cyber crime gang, and they're thought to be based in Russia. And they basically issued an ultimatum to all the victims of the hack that they hit all across the world. The Clop group posted a notice on the dark web warning that those affected by the Move It hack to email them before the 14th of June, or the stolen data that they've taken will be published. That's more than 100,000 staff at the BBC, British Airways and Boots have been told payroll data have been taken. Employers, are being urged not to pay up if the hackers demand a ransom. Cybersecurity research previously suggested that Clop could be responsible for the hack, which was first announced last week. And the criminals found a way to break into a piece of popular business software called Move It, and were then able to gain access to their databases of potentially hundreds of other companies. Analysts at Microsoft said on Monday they believe Clop was to blame based on the techniques that they used to hack. And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into Word on Road.
Before you start, Esther, I just want to put up a picture of Emmanuel's hero. You want to look at the screen? Emmanuel, I'm going to put the camera on your face.
This guy, don't do nothing crazy, you know?
Never.
Oh, that means definitely.
Never.
Kanye and his wife.
No, not Kanye's wife, it's Kanye.
Those pants are
That's his
ridiculous.
wife under the thing.
Yeah, but the main thing is that, look at Kanye.
Hold on, you have to move the
Double cheat up
to show his shoes as well.
on a Thursday afternoon.
This is the guy you were standing for, brother.
What's he doing to his girl? Why is she like this? What's he doing to her? Is she going to a funeral or something?
No, you know he dresses him. That's his genius.
I don't understand why
What-
he
what-
this guy.
genius.
Can she even move her arms and things? Why is he doing this to her?
He's genius. It's showing her outfit.
Is she being forced?
Bro, you have to move the picture up.
You know he's got shoulder pads on.
You let me know. Is that duty?
He's got shoulder pads on.
Is that her duty as a wife, or is she being forced?
Where?
I want to see his footwear.
Brent, is that her duty or is she being forced?
She's asking Imani that question. I have a problem with that question.
What's a double cheek top
On a Tuesday afternoon.
Why is he doing this though? Anyway,
It's nice though. Kanye's been doing his Pilates. Right, so his name's Cuba, right? Cuba Gooding Jr. So basically, he's the actor. Trigger warning, sorry, sexual assault and things of such nature. So basically, he's an actor, and he was taken to court. He's been accused of like several things. He's had a lot of allegations about interactions with women that are not consensual, groping, unwanted touching, kissing, all sorts of things that he shouldn't have been doing. And basically, he was taken to court with three women that he allegedly abused between 2009 and 2019. And it was due to be like a federal civil case. But it's basically been settled out of court, actually. So initially, one of the women was asking for $6 million in damages. And she basically said that in summer in 2013, he introduced himself to her, got her drinks and whatever. And I think they were in a hotel or whatever. And then he needed to change his clothes, invited her up to the room. And he began to undress himself in front of her. And when she wanted to go, he blocked her path. And he wouldn't stop touching her and all that kind of stuff, basically. But yeah, so the case has been settled out of court. There's no word exactly on how much the case was settled for. But the reports are basically saying that there was some things that was going to come out about him if the trial had gone ahead. So I guess they wanted to stop that. But he's creepy now when I watch him and stuff. It's sad when people do stuff like that. B. Simone has also been trending. So I spoke about Jackie O, DC's wife, who sadly passed away last week. And one of her best friends was B. Simone. And B. Simone is trending because obviously she's grieving her friend and whatnot. But she put up a post and she said, if you're not on my close friends, you're not going to see much of my life during this time, obviously during the grieving process. She said, close friends, I love you. Thank you for being a safe space. So essentially she put a link up to pay to join her close friends because that's what she's going to be posting during this grieving process. And the description of the close friends show is it's exclusive access to intimate moments with her fans, friends and family. You see behind the scenes of when she travels, turns up, gets a little wild and so much more. So obviously she's getting cooked. People are like, your friend has passed away and you think giving people, charging people to have access to close friends while you're grieving your friend because you're not going to be on your main is a good idea. And people basically cussing her for it being low and disgusting and blah, blah. But it turns out anyway that she's always had this. So it's not a thing that she just introduced because her friend died. She's always had a kind of close friends show thing on the side. But I guess if people don't know that you have that, they wouldn't know. More sad news. Wendy Williams' son had an exclusive interview with The Sun. Had an exclusive interview with The Sun US. And he basically just expressed how he feels about everything that's going on with his mum. It's a very, very long interview. It's an interesting read if you're interested. But yeah, he basically said how he's very worried about his mum and there's a lot that's going on. He fears that she could be near death because he doesn't feel like she's being taken care of the way she should be taken care of. He says that the people around her are basically taking advantage of her and they have got her making decisions that she would not ordinarily make had she been in a quote unquote sane place, like in a place where she's not ill and she's not kind of dying and down bad, essentially. He says that there's stuff that's happened. So there's a period where he was taking care of her, and I think I reported on that. And he said while he was taking care of her, obviously like she was doing well, but he said that because she has to go into rehab again or something like that, or into care or something like that, and then since she's not been with him, her illness, her state seems to be deteriorating. And he said how basically she struggles, she's got like alcohol issues, where because of her illnesses, her body can't break down alcohol the way it should be breaking down alcohol. So when she drinks, it just stays in her body kind of thing. But the people, her manager and the people that are around her that are meant to be helping her are taking her to like strip clubs and taking her to places where there's alcohol consistently. And he was like, they've got her signing deals and making like business decisions of things she would not do if she wasn't dependent on them, because she's got a guardianship now. So she's since last year she's had a guardianship. So it's like they're just taking advantage of her situation and they're abusing her situation. And essentially he doesn't trust the people that's meant to be taking care of her. Doesn't trust her situation, and he's saying that if proper care isn't granted and if things are not changed and rectified, it could be fatal with everything she's going through. But yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad. It's a very sad interview because I can't imagine like seeing your mum in that state, and he's the only child as well. I can't imagine seeing your mum in that state and not being able to do anything. Not being able to do anything to help. I think there was a time as well when there was a time when she went to hospital. This was not too long ago, and he didn't even know that she was in hospital. And then when she came out, he didn't even know that no one sent him anything, or I guess no one sent him anything, or it's not easy for him to have access to her. It's a very, very sad interview, but praying for Wendy. I hope she can get through this, and hopefully there is some kind of something is done and he can make the right steps to do that. Katie Price, PETA, as in the animal protection people, they're basically calling for her to have a lifetime ban on pets. Trigger warning on the animal cruelty and things of such nature. They're basically saying that she's got blood on her hands because her 7th pet has died in her care. Reading through the story, I can't lie, they've got a good leg to stand on, because she just can't be trusted with nothing. Nothing. I will take you through it. So basically, this comes after she's got a German Shepherd, and the dog was sadly hit by a car on the A42 or something like that. One of the motorways, one of the A's. Got hit by a car, and one of the they're basically saying that in her care, she's had 5 dogs die, a horse, and a chameleon. All in her care. And then also a horse. Let me tell you how they died. So I'm just gonna go through it. So basically, before I even get there, she posted on Instagram one day saying, "Words can't express the loss of my best friend, my protector, my absolutely everything, who had sadly passed away today. I have no words to say how I'm feeling, but I'm numb and shocked. R.I.P. Blade." That was the name of the dog that died, right? There's also a petition that's got like over 33,000 signatures from the public saying that she should not be allowed any more pets. So basically, one of her dogs escaped. Yeah, one of her dogs escaped through an open gate and was knocked down, right? And because of that negligence, the petition went up by 16,000 supporters, right? And the person who's behind the petition said, one of the critics behind the petition, he said, "A puppy has died in the last 24 hours in Katie Price's care. She bought this puppy for her 13-year-old child 3 weeks ago, which was killed in an accident no one witnessed. In the last 5 years, more animals have died from lack of care. Horses, dogs, cats, lizards, hedgehogs. This isn't a single family tragedy. It's a common thing in Katie Price's home. 2 dogs have been run over. Puppies were found dead drowning in a neglected swimming pool. A horse was run over on a motorway." That's how the horse died, on the motorway. Animals just go missing in her home, never to be seen again. Her guard dog broke into her neighbour's garden and killed the neighbour's chickens. Can you imagine? I thought that was sound effects. That was very timely. So she had a dog her guard, obviously a dog that was trained to attack people. And then her dog also killed her cat. Ripped the cat apart. So they're basically saying that this neglect here is too wild. And they're saying how like when she had like this reality TV show, in her house you could see like cat poo with like mold growing on it and like dog poo that was left on the floor, clothes all over the place. Essentially, she's not safe enough for anything like that. And one of her dogs drowned in a pool as well. So essentially, she's just not safe for animals, man. And PETA basically saying that she needs to face some kind of also like kind of legal consequences to this. But also, but basically she should not be allowed any more pets because whenever they're given to her, because she's either gifted them or like, buys them or whatever, but she can't be trusted. And I hear it. Because when I first read this, I thought this is silly. But when I got into it and I saw all the pets that have died in her care, she can't be trusted, man. But yeah, the dog that died the other day was found on A24, and it didn't have a microchip. It just had an LV collar. Because shouldn't your animals have microchips and stuff like that? So he just had a LV collar basically. But yeah, it was sad, man. And I guess they found out it was a dog. I don't even know if she knew that the dog was missing. It's crazy, man. But yeah, so that's what's happening on this side of town. That is all from me. Let's get into People's Journal.
All right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. The first thing I want to ask you guys, this I'm thinking of maybe making this a topic, but this is about vaping. So I want to hear you guys' opinion on this.
No, because when you said vape, I just heard Phillip. So
I heard Phillip.
Yeah, I thought
I
Phillip.
thought Phillip. I really thought Phillip.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
Because
He does that now.
He's ruined vaping.
No, legit, he has to.
Yeah, legit.
Well, maybe that's what the government needed, man. Because children's doctors are calling for a complete ban on this, disposable vapes, right?
Children's doctors.
Yeah.
Bad on for children.
No,
Because kids are vaping in school.
yeah, basically, yeah.
Them new school kids, they're vaping now.
Well, secondary school.
Primary.
Primary school too.
Yeah. Okay,
Primary
no,
school?
No, sorry. I forgot what age my sister was. No, secondary.
Secondary school.
But like year 7. You're in primary.
That's
Is
it.
there-
That's-
is
Just crossed over.
That's borderline primary school.
Is there age limit on buying vapes?
I'm not sure, you know.
I'm not too
There,
sure.
there has to be, surely.
It's
There
got
has
to
to
be.
be.
But it might be something like
livid.
13.
These teachers, I'd be livid as a teacher. I'm walking through school and they're vaping
They blow
in the
smoke in your
corridor.
face.
Yeah,
What?
That's wild.
I couldn't do my job. I couldn't do my job.
But when they advertise them, all these fruity colours, they got all the different colour sticks, pink,
No,
yellow,
I'll be going bonkers.
red.
I'll be going bonkers. Vapes will be banned from my school if I was a head teacher.
Oh, 100%.
Hundo. That's wild.
Vapes and balloons, man.
Yep. But yeah, man, the UK government's planning steps to reduce vaping among the under 18s. And basically, this is why the doctors are basically saying just ban it completely, disposable vapes. But then obviously, you've got the other side of it, the anti-smoking campaign. And well, one of these anti-smoking campaign groups, right? And they're basically saying that if you did that, it'll make it harder for adults to give up smoking. And it will also increase the trade in illegal vapes.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about that?
It'll make it harder for adults to stop smoking.
Yeah, because you know some of them try to transition in that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They try to transition, but then they get addicted to vaping. It's still an addiction. You can't moving from one addiction to another addiction is not solving
And also,
any addictions.
why aren't cigarettes being banned then?
Because they make too much money.
Make a lot of money.
Too much money.
Yeah, then if your argument's money, then miss me with this whole thing then. You know what I mean?
But yeah, that's basically the first thing that I wanted to mention. Selling vapes or e-cigarettes to children is illegal, right? But that has not stopped a rise in, like Esther was saying, 11 to 17-year-olds experimenting with vaping. It's gone up since last year. Before it was 7.7%, now it's gone up to 11.6%.
I could be 11 and vaping.
Yeah, imagine, from 11 to 17, it's crazy. And about 15% of 16 to 17-year-olds are vaping. 15%. 18% of 18-year-olds are currently vaping as well, according to this study. But yeah, that's the first thing. The IMF, well, the deputy head has come out. Her name is Geeta Gopinath, and she's basically saying that immigration, which the UK is trying to curb, can actually help push down the UK inflation. That's what she's saying. She's saying that immigration will obviously fill up the gaps in domestic jobs markets and kind of push down UK inflation and all that type of stuff. And so basically trying to put a cap on, the immigration problem, which Braver Men and Rishi Sunak are trying to tackle, may be detrimental long-term, economic-wise, for the country.
You're saying let them in?
Not necessarily just open the floodgates, but basically be mindful, guys.
Okay, yeah, this
You know
is
what I'm saying? Because
consequences of what you're
exactly,
doing.
yeah. Next thing is Binance. I believe, Brent, if I'm not wrong, they're like the biggest like crypto exchange, right, in the world. Yeah, man. They've been accused by the US of being of basically engaging in a web of deception, and they've been hit by another lawsuit. So the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission, said that Binance and the actual founder as well ignored all the rules that are meant to be in place to protect the investors and all that type of stuff, and those same rules which allow them to operate in the US. And obviously, Mr. Zhao, who's the founder, is basically saying, "You guys are lying in it. Like we've not mishandled anyone's funds and all this type of stuff. So basically, that's what it's about. But people obviously just think this is just the US trying to find a ways to control it, which defeats the purpose of crypto. You know what I'm saying? So they're just trying to centralize everything and have control and all that type of stuff. The last thing I wanted to mention was this is mainly for the Apple users, which is basically everybody in it, isn't it? Terrible. But basically, they've unveiled their reality headset. You know what the VR thing is? Well, you seen it, yeah?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. I haven't seen the video or the features, but I've seen it. I've seen the price as well, 3.5 bags.
Yep, 100% correct. So yeah, man, apparently it has 2-hour battery life. It's going to be released early next year. But yeah, man, apparently this is the biggest thing that they brought out in like over a decade. Like the newest, like, game-changing piece of tech. And so yeah, man, they're really happy about it, man. Tim Cook's come out, basically said that the new headset seamlessly blends the real world and the virtual world. And I guess more people are going to be doing all types of stuff, man. Living in the AI universe, metaverse, and all the above. And the last thing, actually, is just a reminder to people that if you know a black business or you have a black business and you think you can benefit from TV advertisement, Channel 4 and Lloyds Bank have got a scheme where they're giving 5 black businesses the opportunity to secure £100,000 worth of TV advertising. And the applications for that close on Monday, the 26th of June. So if you're interested, just type in Black in Business in Google or go to Channel 4's website and you'll be able to find all the information there. And that's it for the People's Journal.
Thank you. Let's have Wellness Wednesday. Doing good for time.
All right. So.
Oh shit, you're leaving.
Oh, awesome.
30. Yeah.
Oh, 30. Okay.
Yeah, so today's Wellness Wednesday. It's going to be a bit more, I guess, motivational and whatnot. And the first quote is, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world." So you're not a nobody, people. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. And that was by Harriet Tubman.
I have a question. I do after. I don't want to ruin the vibe.
Next one. Change will not come if we wait for some other reason. Some other person. Or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. That's by Barack Obama. And the next headline. The next quote is by Esther's role model, man.
Oh!
Yes.
My virtual mum.
Mm-hmm. And this is just a reminder, you know what I mean? That, like, especially in a world where everyone's trying to be some exceptional, unique thingy, and everyone's just kind of I want to be disingenuous and pretentious and whatnot. Viola Davis basically says, look, the one thing I feel is lacking, she says in Hollywood, but in life, I guess, today is an understanding of the beauty, the power, the sexuality, the uniqueness, and the humor of being a regular black woman.
Period, mum.
I'm saying that one more time. The one thing I feel is lacking today is an understanding of the beauty, the power, the sexuality, the uniqueness, and the humor of being a regular black woman. Big up all the black women out there, man.
Word.
And that's it.
My question. How do we know Harriet Tubman said that? Who recorded these things? How long ago Harriet Tubman was around? I have a theory that people be making up quotes about Harriet Tubman said that.
I mean, people be making up
Florence
quotes making
Nightingale
people
said
all the time. Like,
Shut up.
100%.
It's what you imagine they said.
Yeah.
I don't think Harriet was flipping about every great dream.
You never know. Remember, she had the dream, though. Like, if not for her, like, bare slaves would just remain slaves. She freed so many people.
I don't think when they were all chained up, doing going for what they're going through, she's like, every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion. Since they know if she's going to get lynched or not.
She died in 1913.
Bro. And we're out here in 2023, how many years later, talking about Harriet Tubman said that.
But remember, she was assisted at certain parts, right? So she may have spoke to certain people that recorded certain things.
I mean, if it is that we can conceptualize the Bible remaining, then surely we could possibly hold on to a few Harriet Tubman quotes.
Listen, mate. In year 4000, someone's going to talk about Esther once said. I didn't say that shit.
I think because her quotes are they written down anyway? Like a journal or...
Do you mean
like
it's
just basically
Anne Frank's notes
her...
or diary?
The quote has travelled via word of mouth, isn't it? There's no tangible...
I think they're actually with like certain people who are around at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny
I'm
though?
just backing her. I'm not disputing it.
Do you know what's funny about it, yeah? There have been quotes here that I've seen around, and then like when celebrities ask it, they're like, I never said that.
Yeah, that's
Like, I
true.
never said that. But
yeah,
it's
that
in the
does
Tumblr streets, that quotes is doing the rounds.
That is
Big
true,
up Harriet. She did say that. Harriet and them.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the people in the chat asking if the glasses are AR or VR, they're probably more augmented reality than virtual reality.
Yeah, exactly what I said. That's exactly what it is.
I don't know the differences. All right. Wow, the next headline. Let's get into the next headlines.
Big one. All right. So this next headline, trigger warning here, and this is of allegations of sexual abuse. In fact, the next two headlines are, so please, guys, bear that in mind. So this first one is a British woman has come out and said that Andrew Tate choked her until she lost consciousness while they were having sex, and then subjected her to threatening behavior. The woman, who was 20 at the time, says she first met the controversial social media influencer in August of 2014. She says that consensual sex turned violent when Mr. Tate choked her, and when she woke up, he was still having sex with her, adding, "I didn't consent to it." Mr. Tate says he vehemently denies the allegations against him. The spokesperson said that Mr. Tate does not condone violence of any kind towards women, and that all sexual acts he had taken part in had been consensual. Evie, which is not her real name, she was speaking to BBC Newsnight, and she basically said she first met Mr. Tate in the bar in Luton before he was an influencer with loads of followers and that. She says that he was working as a club doorman and she was a student. She says that she had consensual sex with Mr. Tate before meeting him again at her flat later in 2014 in late November or early December. It was then a consensual sexual encounter. That the consensual sexual encounter became violent, she says. She said that Mr. Tate put his hand on her throat and strangled her. Evie says when she came round, it was a bit confusing at first, saying the influencer was still having sex with me. Evie, who's now 30, claims that Mr. Tate also subjected her to violent threats, including threatening to kill her, until he left the following morning. He kept saying, "I own you, you belong to me," she says. All throughout the night, he was being fairly aggressive and saying horrible things. The next day, Evie said the white part of one of her eyes had turned completely red. Evie did not report the alleged incident to the police at the time. When she was asked by the BBC why she didn't go to police to report a rape, Evie said that she did not realise she had been the victim of an alleged crime. She added, "I think I knew what had happened, I didn't consent to, but I didn't see it as rape or sexual assault because this was 10 years ago." She says it wasn't until 6 years later, when she described the alleged incident to her friends, that she began to think she had been sexually assaulted. And the next headline, which it's completely different to this, but it's linked it'll make sense when I say it. And again, trigger warning, guys, rape. And this is happening in Japan. And the Japanese parliament is now debating a landmark bill to reform the country's sexual assault laws, right? And this is only the second time. This is like such a revision has happened in a century. The bill covers a number of changes, but the biggest and the most significant one will see lawmakers redefine rape from forcible sexual intercourse to non-consensual sexual intercourse, effectively making legal room for consent in a society where the concept is still poorly understood. So current Japanese laws defines rape as sexual intercourse or indecent acts committed forcibly or through assault or intimidation, or by taking advantage of a person's unconscious state or inability to resist. This is at odds with many other countries who define it more broadly as any non-consensual intercourse or sexual act, basically where no means no. Activists are arguing that Japan's narrow definition has led to even narrower interpretations of the law by prosecutors and judges, setting an impossibly high bar for justice and fostering a culture of skepticism that deters survivors from reporting their attacks. In 2014, in a 2014 Tokyo case, for instance, this man had pinned a 15-year-old girl to a wall and had sex with her while she resisted. He was acquitted of rape as the court ruled that his actions did not make it extremely difficult. These are the words, extremely difficult for her to resist. The teenager was treated as an adult because the age of consent in Japan is only 13 years old, which is the lowest amongst the world's richest democracies. The actual trial processes and decisions vary. Some defendants were not convicted, even if their acts were proven to be non-consensual, as they did not meet the case of assault or intimidation. And this was said by a spokesperson for Spring, which is a sexual assault survivor group in Japan. So some crazy things are happening, man.
It's very, very wild.
Yes, sorry about that, people. And yeah, that's the end of the headlines.
Right, let's get into the reaction.
Welcome to Esther's favourite part of the show, people, where we bring you sports news. Or we'll try to. Oh, I should have sent it to you. We're missing a trick. What, the Live news ain't in the doc?
Please.
What, the Live and PJ merger? The LIV thing? Golf?
What's that? Oh, I don't know about golf.
Yeah, you know about that huge scandal that's been going around forever? The Saudis doing their sports washing, and they made the new pro golf league, and they paid them and all the money. A lot of the top boys left the PJ tour, went to the Live tour, earning big P's and that, and then they're going against each other. And obviously with all the human rights stuff and all that, they've been chatting bare shit about the league, innit? And demanding everybody that's won and got the money and all that. They've been dragging them through the dirt, trying to kill their reputations. And Tiger Woods stayed, McElroy over that, they stayed with the PJ. They've been going against each other, innit?
Okay. I don't know about that.
You know what?
Well, they lost the war because there's a merger now. The Saudis' money is long. Live and PJ are merging now. Like, brother.
But we're seeing it with football as well. The contracts they're offering to Benzema, Messi is ridiculous. Even Kante as well yesterday.
It's going off. Saudi won, boy. The money's long.
No, the money's crazy out there.
All that complaining, and now it's all the same thing. These people must be so hurt. And it's so mad because I was looking for some kind of documentary or something because I wanted to like proper take a deep dive into it because there's a lot about it that I actually don't know, and I wanted to know why people were so but it's just the whole human rights stuff, innit? It's just the whole Saudi stuff, innit? But yeah, they just came through with their bread, boy. Money talks.
Yeah, it does.
Money talks.
The first headline, innit? Zaha got offered 45 million over 3 years, I think it is.
Okay, now let me take. I wanted to join Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, to join Al Nassr.
All right, cool. So look, Wilfried Zaha has been offered a 3.5-year deal by Al Nassr worth 45 million. It's 15 million per year. Wilfried Zaha has received a huge offer to join Cristiano Ronaldo at the Saudi Arabian club Al Nassr. Sky Sports News has been told the 30-year-old has been offered a 3-year contract worth 45 million. Zaha's representative has also been approached by Atletico Madrid and 3 other Champions League clubs. The Ivory Coast international has not made a decision on his future yet and wants to assess all his options. Signing a new contract at Crystal Palace has not been ruled out, with his current deal set to expire at the end of June. I think it's rude with all the money that they've been throwing at people.
Nah, not really.
Off of 45 million
not really.
for Zaha. Nah, I think it's rude.
I hear you, but you have to think about the status of the player.
I don't care. I don't care. If I'm Zaha, I'm doubling. I'm telling my agent, go back, give me 100 M's. I'm forward.
I hear you, because if you look at what they offered Messi, what, 400 million euros a year. They offered Benzi 200 million. A year.
And they offered this guy 15 million a year.
Kante, I think they offered 100. But Zaha's nowhere near the star as Messi.
I don't care. If you want me. You start signing Cristiano, and I'm going to be the next signing. And this, no.
But you know what it is? Zaha's there to improve the team. He's not a draw. Whereas Benzema is a draw and he was improve the team, innit? That's why. 15
million a year.
But if I'm Zaha,
I'd take that.
Nah, I'm not taking it.
I'll be honest with you. You see Zaha. Zaha stayed at he's been on good money for a little while. It's on like 50 a week or something like that. He'd been on good money for a decent time in that year.
Yeah, but his career's not done yet.
He missed the boat, bro.
His window, he missed his window.
He missed his window for one of them good teams, from one of them like, because I'm not saying he still couldn't do it. They're not going to go for him. Arsenal ain't going to go for him from now. Like nobody, he's missed his window. His best bet right now will probably be staying at Palace, where you're going to go and earn decent money and be a king and do your thing. And if that's the case, go and get 15 million a year, kid. It's 3 years, man. You come back at 33, you could probably. Well, then again, would they take you back in the Prem after Saudi Arabian League?
Think about it. He's only 30, isn't it? He's only 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he still has a couple of years left of him. Maybe a bit more. He's still kind of young physically, innit? Even though he's 30, innit? Going to Saudi now is like the end of his career.
His career's done now. We're gonna start.
His career's not done yet.
How? But you want to start winding it down. These men been getting checks their whole life and not even been thinking about the latter half of their career. They need to start getting into investments. I don't know what his portfolio's like. When we've got property, businesses, all these stuff. I don't know. But like he doesn't seem like he talks well and that like that. So I can't see him doing punditry stuff and all that. You know what I'm trying to say? So you need to start focusing on the latter half. This is an investment into your future, bro. Go and get 50 million. You don't even have to touch it. You earn so much money that free. You don't have to touch it. You can come back with 50 M's.
No, I think if I'm Zaha, I'm playing about 2 to 3 more years. 3 years probably.
Where? Palace?
In the Prem.
We'll just stay at Palace. Just.
I'll probably look for a move. But not to Al Nassr now. It's too early.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
It's far too early, man. Far too early. And then what else we got? What other transfer rumors we got?
It says Chelsea have stolen a march from Manchester United by opening talks to sign Neymar. Napoli defender Min Jae Kim, ain't that Kim Min Jae? Okay.
Min Jae Kim
has reportedly bid farewell to his teammates ahead of the proposed move to Manchester United, and Tottenham have had interest in Manchester United skipper Harry Maguire as the North London club press ahead with their summer transfer plans following an appointment. New head coach Ange Postecoglou. I wonder where Maguire goes.
I also read that there's a few stumbling blocks in the Mount United deal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I ain't seen that. What's the stumbling blocks?
I think Chelsea are demanding too much money.
Oh yeah, that's been the problem. That's not too. That's the only stumbling block.
That I've seen.
Yeah, they got a meet evaluation in it. Chelsea are talking about 80, and he's got a year left in his contract, and it's just stupid. United want closer to 50.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do. They need to sell players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say. So we'll see how that goes, but that will get done. It's just a matter. It's just a matter of cost.
A matter of when, you saying?
Yeah. It's just a matter of when. Yeah. We spoke about Benzema.
Yeah.
Going to Saudi for the big P's. He's done that, and then one last headline: Liang Wenbo and Liang Hang handed lifetime bans. See, I was thinking, what? That's the snooker man, a minute. Chinese players Liang Wenbo and Liang Hang have been handed lifetime bans for their involvement in snooker's biggest match fixing scandal. 8 other players, all from China, have received bans ranging from 20 months to 5 years and 4 months from the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association. The allegations include manipulating games, approaching players to cheat, betting on snooker, and fixing matches. Yan Bingtao, the 2021 Masters champion, has been banned until December 2027, while former UK Championship winner Zhang Jingtong must serve a suspension that ends in September 2024. All 10 players have until the 20th of June to appeal against their decisions. The WPBSA chairman, Jason Ferguson, said, "This has been a very complex case. It has been heartbreaking to see some young talented players fall foul of the WPBSA's conduct regulations through pressure exerted by 2 senior players. This behaviour has been recognised as wholly unacceptable by the imposition of 2 lifetime bans from participating in recognised snooker in any way. I am pleased that the Commission found that they did not see from the present case any evidence of a wider culture of wrongdoing in snooker." I don't understand. I didn't know man was fixing snooker matches and all that. I thought it was all straight out there. Yeah, and that's the end of our reaction sports news, man. Let's get into our done out here. We can wrap this up pretty. We can have our last little gist. So, yeah, our bods wanted to talk about Phillip, Schofield, ITV, Holly, Willoughby. I was going to do it yesterday, but all these were here. So now we're here. I just want to know, like, how everybody feels, because they are the recipients.
You know what's killing me?
Yeah.
What?
The way you phrased that question, that's exactly what Holly was doing. Holly was like, just let you know that we care about how you guys feel.
How did you feel about that?
What Holly's behaviour?
When she spoke to you?
I've been seeing her statement.
Are you alright?
Oh,
Like,
no, we should...
I'm alright. I mean,
is that where you can get the clip?
Are you alright?
It's too funny the way she did it.
You know, because we're all feeling. It's like, Holly, who are you talking
Who,
to?
like... And do you know what's killing me? It's like... At least pretend to come from the heart. Girl, we know you got a teleprompter. Like, we can tell you're reading it word for word, bar for bar from the screen in front of you.
And it was just the way it was just all
Patronising,
planned out. You know what I'm trying to say? They had her in like like tan neutral colours because they just didn't want to be too
That's a neutral
aggressive.
colour.
No, this was
No, I hear what you're saying. It's like the tricks they're using it.
the production. This was
Yeah,
well
yeah,
thought
yeah.
out. You
So
know what
what,
I'm trying to say?
has it been proven that they were all not complicit, but they all knew what was going on?
No, that's not been proven. No,
Okay.
there's stuff coming out. Eamon Holmes is still on their neck.
Yeah,
I don't know. Eamon might have his own scandal because he's being loud.
he looks like he might have a scandal.
He might have his own scandal because he is being loud. He is on their necks, but maybe he just feels betrayed. Maybe hard done by. Because again, I think what's he trying to say that like they was lied to and duped in it. So they knew that stuff was going on, that he was homosexual, but they made that so people were supporting him behind the scenes, but they're not supporting that. If that makes sense,
Yeah.
They made that like it was a different issue in it. So he just feels bad. But it's like, yeah, when she's looking at him talking about, oh yeah, how do you feel and blah, blah, blah. And then like.
But thinking, what
She's
is
she's trying to separate herself from that, yeah, but she's still trying to
Yes,
like,
man.
no, but she's still trying to, he's lost so much and,
Yeah, 'cause
like his like his mental health and
No,
like
because
we
no,
know
it's-
his health is mental.
No, because he could. Okay, because they could sue them. Because if she goes on there and doesn't at least show like some form of like care or whatever, he could say that whatever she said inciting some kind of hate or whatever towards him, and as such, that's caused people to bully him more and and he can sue them. And if you think about the fact that obviously they knew what was going on, but they basically left him out to dry now. They've hung him out to dry. That's the saying. So for him, he's probably finding he could find any. They can't give him any reason to try and get back at them.
He's got a cheek. Why would he even have it? Why has he got the gall to even try and come and get back at
Because
them?
audacity.
The
It's free.
audacity is ridiculous. That's exactly he said. He ruined vapes for everybody. Yeah. And only thing I could go back to, I said it on Twitter the other day. Yeah. Could you imagine? Yeah. Just imagine. Yeah. R. Kelly was vaping in that Girl King interview.
Bro.
Just the sentiment
couldn't.
behind him. How could
But
he
you
be
know what
vaping in that
yeah,
interview?
that's ridiculous.
That's
couldn't.
ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
When I saw
Do you
him
know what I
vaping,
mean?
No, it's
yeah,
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
like they're asking you questions. Like your life is on the line.
He's just there, not
in
nonchalantly,
between, he's like,
yeah, looking.
Imagine
I
I
was
was
there
there
with
with this camera on me.
He thinks he's rough.
I was like, are you okay? Like they've actually asked you, did you have a relationship with this guy when he was younger? And he's like, no, I didn't. I really didn't. He shrugged. He was like, I don't know what else to tell you. I
I think
didn't.
there's one time, yeah, I think he blew the smoke through his nose.
Guy doing tricks and tips, doing all sorts of tricks. When you say your life is on the line, and then the same breath, whilst vaping, you're talking about you understand what Caroline Flank went through.
You would understand what actually, you know what, let me not speak about the dead. Anyway.
No. Anyway, you know me, I don't care about dead. I speak about anyone that needs to be spoken about.
I'm just saying, I don't know why you picked her to be like she was
an abuser.
She was 31 and my man was 17, like, so
And she abused him.
I'm sure you felt like her. You madman.
She was literally having a trial for abuse.
Wow.
And you think that's the good example to go with?
I hear you talking about them being sued and all that, yeah, but I think they're just doing too much to protect this guy. Like the man's like a paedophile.
Yeah.
Like, basically, and like you are trying to protect, talking about
I think
his
'cause-
mental health and his.
I think he's
like,
still got some power though, that's why.
Yeah, but we're just ignoring the fact, yeah, that like he's trying to do this paedophilia thing. They're saying that even if he didn't, he's grooming and a top level groomer. Even if he didn't touch the youth, yeah, they're saying that he walked into a building and saw the youth when he was 10, yeah, gave him a job, took him, brought him to his workplace, gave him a job, and then started slamming him up from when he was young. If that was role reverse and a man done that to a woman, went to a primary school and saw a 10-year-old girl there,
There's no way.
a 10-year-old girl, took
No
her
way.
out of her place, bring her to his establishment, hired her, and then start dealing with her wicked in the changing rooms.
There's no way.
What are we doing? What's going to happen? What are we doing here?
He would have been killed.
What are we doing here?
Has he been charged?
I don't even know how.
No,
it
he's
works.
not going to be charged.
He's
I
not
don't
charged?
think there's no charge because apparently the guy wasn't underage when
And
they
it's
had a
because-
relationship.
and it's
That's what he
because-
keeps saying. That he
Look,
keeps making a point to be like, it was
That part.
consensual and he wasn't underage. So
Oh,
it's not pedophilia.
so
Grooming.
the boy who's involved in this, he's come out and he's spoken about, it and he's like,
The boy ain't said nothing.
He said nothing?
And that's the
Oh.
sad thing because everyone keeps talking about Phillip Schofield, but no one's checking on the boy. Is this boy okay? And in his statement, he was like, oh, he just wants everyone to, kind of give the guy privacy to deal with what he's dealing with.
Well, look, he's got all this scandal
You're who
going
he
on.
was
Yeah?
dealing with.
He's got all this scandal going on, yeah, and he's wrapped it up with him cheating on his wife, having the affair with the youth man, and he's all wrapped up in him coming out, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? So it's all about his sexuality, innit? So it's like he's got that shield of homosexuality there in front of
Yeah.
him, and it feels like if anybody says anything too much, they're going to try and change it into homophobia.
Yeah.
I think Jeremy Clarkson tried to come out the other day, he's talking about this homophobia stuff and that. So
It's
now
not
he's got that barrier, that shield of homosexuality there, protecting him. And it's like now people ain't allowed to say how they really feel. So if we go after him and try and vilify him, they're going to try and tell us we're homophobic.
We're not homophobic.
But we're not homophobic.
We're pedophobic.
He's a pedophile. He's a sodophile. The fuck?
No, you're spitting.
It's wild, man.
This is bullshit.
It's wild.
You know, a lot of the time, when celebrities are kind of outed, right? It's almost like the powers that be have had enough of them and allow it to happen. They remove the shield, innit?
Yeah.
Do you feel as though they're kind of putting the shield back and protecting him? And this is why Holly's come out, Clarkson's come out to be like, wait a minute, we've changed our mind now. We don't want to destroy Phillip now. So guys, be positive again.
Do you know what I think here? I actually think here they would have protected him to the nth degree. But I still feel like we haven't heard the worst of it. I still feel like there's something that's coming that's bigger than all of this. Because all the things he's doing, he's got his poor mum. Sis can't even walk on her own, you know. And he's got her in the park. He's going all these places and doing like PR and picture. You're telling me you are just walking in the park and it just happens to be a camera that's just right in front of you, just taking these pictures. Do you know what I mean? And all of that is just to create like this sympathy for him. I feel like they had no choice but to let him go. Because remember, he quit at first. And then, no, they went on a break at first. He and Holly went on a break at first. And then during the break, they were going to come back. There was a date for them to come back. Then he quits out of nowhere. But then he made a point to say that the reasons why he quit has got nothing to do with this whole boy thing, this whole thing that's going on. And that was it's all separate. Then he's come out and now said, yes, I did lie to all the executives, but also my quitting still has nothing to do with all of this. So I feel like there's something that's going on, but I feel like they have to protect him because I feel like he knows he can bring other people down. He's like Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
It is. I
He
don't
can
want
bring-
to.
he can bring
I
people
don't
down
want to
with it.
assume anything. Yeah, and it's hard. We always do this to people and stuff like that because we're not in the know in it. We don't know what's going on.
yeah.
But we said it before. We've watched Morning Show. We know how close these
We know
people
how-
are.
yeah.
There's no way that's an isolated incident,
No,
and
it's not.
there's no way there's not support in that system there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like they're all culpable to. They're all complicit in everything that's going on. Not all,
And
maybe not
that's-
all of them, but a few of them. Some of them, like some of the higher ups, whether it be their producer that works with them every day. Obviously, Holly's the co-host. You get me? People are around. There's makeup artists and things that do with them every day that would hear wild conversations and people know what
And
go
that's
on.
why I feel like it can't. That's why they keep making an emphasis on the guy wasn't underage when they had a relationship because I feel like once it becomes that, I think it's gonna open the floodgates for ex-employees, current employees to start talking about what happened, about what as in like their experiences. There's gonna be more people coming forward. It's gonna be a whole class action suit, and I think that's why they're trying to keep it as non-messy as possible because if it gets to that, ITV, as we know, will never be the same.
I want ITV to have their day in the sunshine, boy. I tell you that much. I can't wait. I want them to have their time in the sun. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want the
Front row.
pitchforks out. I'll be there front row. Like, why not? Down to the establishment.
So annoying.
Huh?
I really feel like that's what they're trying to avoid.
Do you think it's more with him or more with other people?
It's more other people.
Other people doing
He's the
stuff, yeah.
beginning. And once if we open that floor where someone, because if someone else comes out and be like, actually, he dated me too.
You know, because people
This
are
is
bad
it
minders.
now.
People are
This
bad
is
minders as well. And he was like, if I'm gonna go down, you will all go
This
down.
is it.
He'll start talking about extra stuff.
Exactly.
You know, like stuff that's got nothing to do with him and the youth. You know, like some
Even as a
other foul.
matter
You know, like
of
some
fact-
next foul stuff. You'd be like, furthermore.
I went on a double date with the exec and he had a young
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, start
It's
going
that sort of
ham.
thing.
Like, I'll bring you all down act. What do you think this is?
It would actually be the Me Too of the UK. Because I don't think the UK hasn't had a Me Too movement like that.
No, we haven't actually.
I think it's brazy
It would be
over
that.
there. I actually think it's brazy over there. I think when you start pulling at that thread, I think it gets
This is
brazy over there. I think it's disgusting. You get me?
And I think, and it's interesting that boy hasn't come out. I wonder like if he had to sign an NDA or something. But it's interesting that he hasn't come out. Like we have everything we see is about Phillip.
Yeah.
We ain't heard nothing from the guy, from his family, nothing. But I really believe that they're trying to just manage it, not necessarily co-sign his foolishness, but they have to not do too much because there's more secrets in that establishment. And this could just be the worst thing to ever happen. I know stupid Alison, the black woman, crying, talking about
Crying for who?
Phillip!
Well, the big Alison.
Yeah.
The one and only.
Yeah.
She's out here shedding tears like, oh, it's difficult because obviously, like, it's someone that you know, but it's just like, I don't condone what he's done, but it's just such a difficult, tricky position. Dermot, who's got white man privilege, is looking at her like, bitch.
The thing is
what are you doing?
Is it okay for her?
Oh, was Dermot giving her side eyes?
But he's just awkward because he's thinking. She's sending big tears, you know.
Is it okay for her to feel that way, or just not do it on camera?
Huh?
Is it okay for her to feel that way, but just don't do it on camera?
Yes, it's unprofessional. It's extremely unprofessional. Because you know what? Because this is the issue. This is why Holly's in it, yeah. Because when you got a show like that, yeah, where you got like two people, like you are the nation's two breakfast people. When one person does something, like in terms of like the way the business operates, the ratings, the likability, all that stuff is tested based on the both of you.
Yeah.
So when Phillip did what he did, that's why Holly was like, you're selfish because you could have ruined my career. You are close to retirement age. I'm only in my 40s. I've still got many years ahead of me. So then they then brought Dermot and Alison in, right? They're potentially the ones that are going to take over because I don't see Holly staying on there. But anyway, they're the ones that are going to potentially take over.
Yeah.
Now you're sitting next to me. We're about to be the next big thing. And you're sitting here crying over this man talking about it's a difficult position to be in. What's so difficult about us being the next stars? You can say whatever you want to say, but do it behind closed doors. Yeah. Why are you doing it here? But I feel like that's what made me think. I don't think it was like one of the rehearsed things, because he just sat there like like he didn't know, like he just sat there.
Yeah.
Because what are you doing this for? It's ridiculous, man.
Well, listen, man. With that being said, man, trust me, man. Phillip, you're done at it, man. Holly, you are done at it. ITV, if we find out any more, I promise you we're going to raise that place to the ground. I promise you.
I cannot. I think it's a very interesting summer.
I love that saying. What does that come from? What does that mean, raise it to the ground?
It means to just destroy everything, burn everything.
Yeah, but how?
You know, like the Simpsons when they all have the pitch,
Yeah.
the fire.
That saying is cold.
It's lit.
We're going to raise it to the ground,
It
baby.
tastes like the fire.
You
Burn
are
it
done
out.
at it. Let's get into our outro.
Alrighty, people. I hope you guys have liked the video. If you haven't, please do before you exit today's show.
Sorry, did she quote the Bible?
Who, Alison? Yes. Yes, she did. She did. What was it she said again?
Who God bless no man curse.
That's what she said. She was dancing up there, bro.
She was tap dancing.
Yeah.
It was a sin thing, isn't it?
Yes, he who is without sin
Cast the first stone. No, someone should have
Do you know
stoned
what that
her.
means?
Someone should have stoned her.
Wait, let him play.
Wait, yeah, let me.
If my girls hadn't been there, I wouldn't be here. Because I don't see a future.
Oh, I'm just finding it really painful because obviously, you know, I loved Phillip Schofield, and it's weird because I still love Phillip Schofield. However, what he's done is wrong. He's admitted it, he said sorry. But as a family, we're all really struggling to process.
You know you're black. You're the
everything.
first one out.
No, I'm talking about the music you put
I
underneath
never
it.
know what to say, but I remember what my mum said. My mum always said, you know, use your Bible as your sat-nav in life, Al. And in the Bible it says, he without sin
Fuck your mum,
cast
man.
the first.
This is crazy, man. Why you bring your mum into this shit? Nah, man.
I don't want to say
Nah.
anything bad because obviously I'm in conflict.
Of course. If my girls hadn't been there,
Auntie's sitting there, thinking that why am I in it? Furthermore, anyway, she used that people out of context. Do you know what that means? Yeah, that means that everyone. Do you know what's mad about that quote? She could actually get them in trouble with that. Because saying he who's without sin cast the first
Yeah,
stone
so she's
means that you all.
implying that everyone else might be complicit or doing the same as what
This
he's
is
doing.
it. So she's essentially saying all of you guys judge, we're all throwing things about, we've all got stuff in our closet.
Yeah, he's just the one that got caught in it.
Do you know what? Like this video, yeah, if you hate ITV. let's do that. But if you've got dilemmas as well, send them in to 075-648-41073. If you want to inquire about the show or feature on the show, you can email our team the day after at thenewblack.com. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it, follow us on social media, the day after TNB, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Peace.